So we are ready for Monday Night Football.
He's gone! Lord, you can take me now. I've seen it all.
October 17, 1983. From the beginning, this one had the makings of a primetime shootout. 20 points in the first quarter, 24 in the second, 20 in the third, and 31 in a wild fourth quarter that saw 5 lead changes. There were 11 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards of offense. Redskins quarterback Joe Theismann finished with 398 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Packers quarterback Len Dickey threw for 387 yards and 3 touchdowns. And when it was finally over, the scoreboard read Packers 48, Redskins 47. That's 95 total points, marking the highest scoring game in Monday Night Football history. And now, it's the Ravens and the Packers. Are you ready?
Celebrating the 40th season of NFL Monday Night Football, ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Season 40, Chapter 13.
What a beautiful sight. Hey! Come on and get ready. I mean, really ready. Are you ready for the football? A Monday night party where primetime pigskin officially started. Get those people scratching, the crowd is sight. All my rowdy friends are here on Monday night. Not Tuesday night football because there's a foot of snow in the forecast starting tomorrow night. The weather will impact how you feel, but it's not going to have as significant an impact as it could. Wind chill in the teens here in Green Bay. For John Harbaugh, must win tonight to stay even with Jacksonville. For the moment, the Jags have the tiebreaker advantage in the AFC. On the other side, Mike McCarthy's team remains the 6th seed for the moment in the NFC, and they'll stay that way if they win tonight, trying to stay a game ahead of the Giants. The Packers win the toss and will receive. So Aaron Rodgers will get out there right away against the Ed Reedless Ravens defense. Rare visit for the Ravens here to Lambeau. And a bunch of their players talking to them on the field before the game, just kind of taking it all in. One of the special places in the sport. Billy Cundiff kicks. Jordy Knudsen receives. Off we go from Lambeau. Nelson fumbled the opening kickoff in Detroit on Thanksgiving. Holds on here and takes it across the 40-yard line. Good start. After Jalen Parmalee made the tackle, Aaron Rodgers, 22 touchdowns. And John referenced it earlier. Low interceptions, only 5 interceptions. He's very good at taking care of the ball. And Jaws, really, as you've watched Aaron Rodgers, your impression of him continues to improve.
Very, very impressed with Aaron Rodgers. I believe he will be a superstar down the road in the National Football League. He has shown that type of growth through 27 games. This being the 28th.
The drive start from 43, and Rodgers throwing right away, incomplete. Couldn't get it into the hands of Donald Driver. Let's tell you who's working around Rodgers here tonight. He got knocked down in that first play. Ryan Grant on his way to a 1,000-yard rushing season. You've got a couple of receivers in Driver and Jennings, over 15 yards a catch. Donald Lee, one of 2 tight ends, very much a factor. This is the key group up front. 6 different combinations this year. 3rd straight start for this group. But I want to watch Chad Clifton, 76, the left tackle. Injured his hamstring on Thanksgiving. With this cold weather, let's see if he's able to hold up through the night. Three receivers and the tight end Lee, and a throw is hauled in by the third receiver, James Jones, just shy of midfield as he's tackled by Dominique Foxworth. So let's check that Baltimore defense. And Ron mentioned more pressure on the guys up front. Haloti Ngata, Kelly Gregg, Dewan Edwards. Ngata's all over that front. He clears space for Ray Lewis. Remember, they are missing Terrell Suggs on the front, out for the third game with his knee injury. Trevor Price starts for him. Webb, a rookie. Foxworth, Dewan Landry, and the former Golden Domer Zivikowski starts for Ed Reed, out tonight with a hip injury. Just the 7th game Reed has missed in his career. Brandon Jackson, the third down back. Rogers, nobody open. Chased by Ngata. Throws complete for the first down. And it's that back Jackson who takes it to the 40-yard line. A gain of 10.
That's one of the things that Aaron Rodgers does as well as any quarterback in pro football is use his legs. Here's just a simple drop back pass. Rodgers doesn't have anything to his left. He scrambles to his right. No match for Ngata, and an excellent job by Aaron Rodgers extending the play and finding work down the field to get a key third down conversion.
That is his 18th first down rushing the football. He certainly does keep the offense moving and on schedule.
From the 40 on first down, here's Ryan Grant to the right, going to lose a yard and a half. Kelly Gregg submerging in there. We had talked about all the problems that this offensive line had. 6 different starting groups on their way to setting some big sack numbers. But things have turned around here over the last 3 weeks. Ron, why do you think it started to turn around?
Well, it's solidified. Chad Clifton, a veteran left tackle, is now back. They brought back Mark Tauscher at right tackle. That is solidified. They've also spread the field more, giving a quick defined read to Aaron Rodgers and using those quick drops to get the ball out of his hand.
And that's a little bit what you see here with 5 receivers, an empty backfield. But the Ravens were confused on defense, and they used their first timeout. 2:16 gone by opening quarter. Opening drive. Pack on the move.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Bud Light, with the just right taste that's not too heavy, not too light. The difference is drinkability. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. And DiGiorno, for more of what you love, taste, believe. It's not delivery, it's DiGiorno Ultimate Toppings.
Rarely do you get the blimp shot. You see houses in the neighborhood. It's just a block away from the stadium. So many houses. This really quaint, neat neighborhood. 101,000 people call Green Bay, Wisconsin home. Opening drive after the Ravens called timeout. 2nd and 11 for Rodgers. Trying to cipher the Ravens defense. They bring 4, and Rodgers takes a shot, incomplete for Jones. Well covered by Frank Walker. So we're going to get to third down here, and Aaron Rodgers has been remarkably good on third down. This is such a hard down, John. You call plays on third down for quarterbacks. How about these numbers when you get to third down? This is unbelievable stuff.
I don't even believe those stats are true. That's hard to do on first down. That's hard to do on any down at any level. That's one of the reasons I really like this quarterback. Not only is he outstanding on third down, he's good in the red zone as well. This guy's a big-time player.
Got 4 receivers in the back. Jackson to help him here on 3rd and 11. Ravens bring pressure. It's picked up. Pass is caught by the third receiver, Jones. First down. 27-yard line.
Well, we saw exactly why Aaron Rodgers is so successful on third down. The accurate throw and the quick release.
Watch the blitz pick up, though. That sure helps. The Green Bay Packers do an excellent job of picking up blitzes. And as you said, Ron, Aaron Rodgers knows exactly where to go with the football when he's under duress. That's an excellent job by the Packer offense.
And Brandon Jackson, number 32, really good job of getting Ray Lewis right up the middle.
Just 1 run thus far for the Packers on this 6-play drive. Another throw. Another catch. It's Jennings. Foxworth corrals him at the 17. And guys, when you get against the Packers, you talk about which receiver do you take out? Which number 1 receiver? Well, Driver and Jennings, I don't know if there is a 1. They're 1 and 1A.
Well, when you look at the Packer receivers, Driver and Jennings are going to go over 1,000 yards again this year, Jaws. They've also got 3 guys, if you throw in James Jones, all 3 of these guys average over 15 yards a catch. That's an amazing accomplishment in pro football.
And they can spread you out even a little more when they throw Jordy Nelson and go 4 wide receivers who are very effective.
Corey Hall, the fullback, blocks for Grant. Seeking space. Nice patient run as Jarrett Johnson over there for the tackle with Paul Kruger. Ryan Grant, undrafted member with the Giants, was traded in 2007. Came on over here and had a fabulous season in his first one with the Packers, helping them get to the NFC Championship game. Slow starter, but it seems like as the season and the game goes on, he gets better.
Well, he had 1,200 yards last year. He came in tonight with 890. He takes care of the football. The man does not fumble. He makes a lot of good 4- and 6-yard runs.
Here he goes to the right. Tripped up from behind by Jawan Edwards. And that'll bring up 3rd down.
Once again, the situation where Aaron Rodgers at his best in the red zone. John alluded to it earlier. 3rd down, very active throw. You get in the red zone. When those windows squeeze down, you got to be able to make the tough throws. Normally a quarterback's completion percentage drops about 10% in the red zone. That's how tough it is. But Rodgers can stroke him in there. Look at these numbers.
I said 3rd, my mistake. 2nd down. That's Jermichael Finley spreading out. You got to treat him like a receiver. He's that good a pass catcher. And there he is. A couple of yards shy. And now we'll have 3rd and a couple coming up.
This guy, Aaron Rodgers, does a lot before the ball is snapped. They use their tight ends in motion a lot just to get a look at the defense. And right there in a no-back set, Rodgers took a good look at the Raven defense. He knew it was not a blitz situation. He is real smart. Take a look at the tight end. He's going to reload out here to the right. Rodgers takes a good look at the Ravens secondary. He says, I know exactly where my matchup is. It's to the outside. He does an excellent job week in, week out of doing this.
And Finley beats a corner on the play.
5 wide, no back as Jordy Nelson's at the top of the screen. Got to beat the play clock. They do. The pass for Nelson's knocked down, but caught out of the air by Mark Tauscher. The tackle caught it. It'll be a loss of a couple of yards. It will likely have a field goal attempt coming up. Jared Johnson and Ray Lewis over there getting in the way.
You know, one of the things that the Ravens will do, they will bat balls, because when you go with these empty sets, the quarterback is going to get rid of the football quickly. So they will read the quarterback's eyes. And defensive line coach Clarence Brooks will teach these guys, hey, when he plants that foot, locate him and get your arms up. You will get some batted balls on the quick drops.
Mark Tauscher, NFL game 126, reception number 1 of his career. Mason Crosby, officially 28 yards. Makes it in the left upright, and the opening drive takes 5:21 off the clock, and the Packers are on the board first. Aaron Rodgers 6 for 8 on the drive. Couldn't get the last one, but moved him down for 3. And the lead. Three first downs and a field goal on that early 6-minute plus drive for Aaron Rodgers to start. The Packers up 3-0 and not been a very proficient opening drive team this year. Able to get the 3. Darius Webb back to receive as a kickoff return against Denver this year for touchdown. Takes this one from the 6. And the rookie Webb dives out to the 30-yard line. So Joe Flacco and the Raven offense waiting through the cold. Now they'll get their opportunity to get moving. Down 3. Ravens offense on the field, down 3-0, averaging 23 points per game. And Joe Flacco, the 24-year-old, 18th overall pick of the draft in 08. Took his team to the AFC Championship game last year. We'll get started.
And Joe loves to work the edge of the defense. Throw that deep out as well as anybody. Watch him pregame. He was stroking it.
Ray Rice, LaRon McClain start in the backfield. And a rollout first down throw, incomplete, trying to get it over to Derek Mason. Johnny Jolly applied the pressure. They're working behind the quarterback. Flacco is Ray Rice. Great average, 125 yards per game. McClain may see a little more ball carrying. Mason and Clayton, the receivers. Todd Heap, the veteran tight end. A young offensive line. Move Marshall Yonda in at right guard. Burks, the veteran, and Michael Orr, the right tackle. Of course, the movie The Blind Side. So much of his story to rookie status in the NFL. It's the #1 movie in the country this past week. Tops of the box office. Ray Rice runs for about 4 yards from 34, so a 3rd and 6 coming up against this Green Bay defense. They changed to a 3-4 this year, and it's working. 2nd in yards allowed per game. Stout along the front with Jolly and Pickett and Jenkins. The linebackers, 2 rookies start on the outside. Brad Jones, 7th rounder. Clay Matthews, 1st rounder. We told you at the beginning, Charles Woodson having a great season. Tremont Williams in for the injured Al Harris with Bigby and Collins as the safeties. 3 wide, 1 back, 3rd and 6. Flacco checks it to Rice. Got a good block to get the first down. Todd Heap gave him space, gets it across the 40, a gain of 7.
What Joe Flacco will do, he'll look down the field and then come to the check down. Down the field to check down. He looks for Ray Rice. He doesn't get a clear picture downfield. He does it. He knows where Ray Rice is going to be. Gives it to him. And watch the lateral agility of Ray Rice. Makes 2 defenders miss. Picks up the first down.
Play action pass. A lot of this out of this Ravens offense. Covered deep, so Flacco, not the most mobile guy in the world, does a good job tight roping the sideline to get a first down into Packer territory at the 49.
That was a phenomenal job by Joe Flacco, dancing up the sideline, coming off a leg injury, an ankle injury. But let's take a look at Derek Mason matched against Charles Woodson. You'll see a lot of this tonight. Press, bump, man-to-man, where they're joined at the hip. Excellent coverage by Charles Woodson.
You know, Charles Woodson has a photographic memory. I guarantee you he remembers covering Derek Mason when Mason wore number 80 at Michigan State. These 2 guys have had battles for years.
You see a lot of that right there. Belly to belly, eyeball to eyeball.
Toss, Rice to the right. It's almost 4. Nick Barnett trips him just shy of the 45-yard line. So that Rice season last year, he took over the #1 job as he developed to be a more complete back. If you remember seeing them in preseason, John, Willis McGahee kind of had a great offseason. Looked primed to go, but Rice has just outperformed the veteran McGahee.
There's only been 3 backs ever have 800 yards receiving and 1,000 yards rushing, and Ray Rice has a chance to be the 4th.
Rice running with Barnett, tackling him up high, and then taken down by Ryan Pickett. A couple of yards shy of the first down, and he has become such a receiving threat this year as well.
You know, a lot of people say Ray Rice is little. He's not little. I guarantee you that. He's short, but he is very strong and elusive.
And here's how he gets that 127.5 yards per game. So much of it receiving, and that elusiveness you'll see as a pass catcher. Only Chris Johnson at Tennessee is doing more per game yards from scrimmage, but so much of his comes rushing. Well, it should, if he's running for like $150 a game. Chris Chester in. They had an extra offensive lineman, and will throw here on 3rd and 1. And have the first down and more with Heap. Todd Heap taken into the red zone, down to the 16 for the first down, and blocking to Ray Rice's good play on this drive.
Yeah, Nick Collins went for the pick, didn't get it, and the throw was right on the money from Joe Flacco off the play action. There's Nick Collins. You'll see he bites, and he comes back outside. Look at the throw by Flacco. The only place where he could make the catch, and the ball couldn't be defended. Well executed by the Ravens quarterback and tight end.
Good drive by the Ravens. Good balance between the run and the pass. Just what John Harbaugh wanted to do coming in here tonight.
Gain of 23, second longest of the year for Heap. 17, here goes Rice. McClain tried to throw a block. The ball comes out as recovered by Nick Collins of the Packers. That Packer defense, among the best in the league in forcing turnovers, gets one here as it was knocked out and recovered by Collins. Well, some people say you can't coach turnovers, you can't make those things happen. Well, the Packers have been doing it with great regularity this year. Another takeaway for this Green Bay defense, second in the National Football League. 28 takeaways combined with really taking care of it on the offensive end, 10 giveaways. And, John, it's a recipe for success. And that guy, Winston Moss, is a big part of the reason why.
No question. They practice it every day.
They're able to get Ray Rice to fumble for only the second time in his 2-year NFL career. The 19, a first down run with Grant, who's tied up behind the line of scrimmage, and he loses the football. And he rarely fumbles as well. Donnell Ellerbe punched it out once he was got at the bottom of the pile.
Good luck.
I hear white ball. The Ravens have recovered the second fumble of the year as Grant puts it on the ground.
John, you said it earlier, he does not fumble the football. That a couple guys fumble that are not normally known as fumblers.
It's interesting with his right knee, guys. It looks like his right knee is down. Meantime, we're still having a conversation at the recovery spot as both the offense and the defense for both teams are out there, and there's a little bit of heated words going back and forth. We continue to show these replays.
The ruling on the field was a fumble recovered by Baltimore. First down.
It's the voice of Walt Anderson, our referee. We have not had a penalty called in the game yet, but you see that look, and now let's see if Mike McCarthy will challenge that. He very well should.
That was very, very close.
See, Nick Collins was giving the international symbol to challenge.
Well, he's taking advantage of all these replays. He's going to throw it. There he goes.
You see, we had the replays up before they had them on the screen. And to me, it's the biggest inequity in the replay system. When you're at home, you get all the extra looks on your video board. And they just showed 3 different angles. And finally, on the third one, McCarthy said, let's go. Let's challenge. We'll see if it's a fumble or not after this. Packer coach Mike McCarthy challenging the ruling on the field, which is a fumble. And you watch very closely as his knee comes down. Has the ball started to move as Ellerbe's in there trying to knock it out? There's the knee down. Has the ball started to move on its way out? So close.
I think it's going to be difficult to overrule it.
After reviewing the play, the runner's knee was down. He was still in control of the ball. It'll be 2nd and 12 from the 17-yard line. Green Bay is not charged with a timeout.
That means they can earn a 3rd challenge if they challenge again and it is successful.
Well, I think you'll learn a lot early in this football game about cold weather. You have 2 ball carriers, Ray Rice and Ryan Grant, that take care of the football already. Ryan Grant almost fumbled, and Ray Rice has fumbled. It is different carrying the football in cold weather.
Well, Ryan Grant's done it before, only 1 fumble and 291 handles, but it won't be recorded as a fumble there. But the ball gets a little bit hard, it gets a little bit slippery. You've got to secure it a little bit tighter.
That 1 fumble he had against Cincinnati was after a pass reception. So it's a loss of 2, not a loss of the ball. Paul Kruger couldn't hit Rodgers, who buys time and fires a rocket incomplete, with Foxworth over there covering on Jennings and a marker in.
We're going to get holding on the Ravens.
Bring on the play.
Boy, penalties have really hurt both these teams this year.
Pass interference, number 24, defense, first down.
You know, when you have a quarterback that can keep plays alive like Aaron Rodgers, Dominic Foxworth has to hold his coverage longer than he normally does. Boy, I don't know about that, guys.
Elodie Nada finishes off Aaron Rodgers. That's one big fella, 345 pounds.
The penalty gains 18 yards for the Packers, brings them out to the 35. Play action with Grant. Rodgers loads up for Jennings. Safety coverage. It's like a punt caught by Zibikowski, who intercepts it back inside the 10. So Aaron Rodgers, who rarely throws interceptions, sees Ed Reed's replacement. Reed out with a hip injury tonight. The former Golden Gomer, Tom Zibikowski, comes up with the pick. It's Ravens ball. Exciting night Saturday night on ESPN, 8 Eastern. The Heisman Trophy presentation presented by Nissan. Always one of the great nights of the football year. And then ESPN's next 30 for 30, The U. It's about the history of Miami football. I had a chance to see that. It is very good. If you enjoy college football, you'll enjoy that. That's Saturday night on ESPN. Of course, we have a Heisman Trophy winners in the house, including Charles Woodson, first defensive-based player to win the Heisman when he won it over a decade ago for Michigan. And Jim Harbaugh will be at the Heisman presentation on Saturday night. In all likelihood, his running back, Toby Gerhart from Stanford, one of the 5 finalists, announced earlier tonight on SportsCenter. Mark Ingram, Alabama, Colt McCoy, Tim Tebow, and Ndamukong Suh, the great defensive lineman from Nebraska. Rodgers throws the pick. Flacco takes over at the 10. Here's a tight pocket, but able to complete it for a gain of about 6 to Mason.
Let's go back to the interception that Aaron Rodgers just threw. Right here is going to be his read. The safety, Tom Zibikowski. When he comes back off his play action read and snaps his head around, he's got to locate Zibikowski. Once he's on that deep half of the field, do not throw the football there. Actually, what the Packers did, they ran 2 go routes on the outside. They blocked up 8. They were going to throw the ball deep. He should have gone to the other side where he had the one-on-one coverage.
And you see how good Rodgers has been at not throwing interceptions, sometimes to a fault. For those who said he's the reason for the sacks. We have movement, each side blaming the other, and the Ravens are going to get backed up.
Well, Sark, number 86, offense, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
And one of the things that's really plagued the Baltimore Ravens is penalties. They lead the NFL in penalties, and the Green Bay Packers are second. But there has been a lot of pre-snap penalties on this offensive line, and in big games here down the stretch, you got to quit talking about it and get it done and eliminate it, because it is killing this offense.
They're self-inflicted wounds.
On 2nd and 9, here's Rice trying to dance toward the left, and there's Clay Matthews, the rookie out of USC. John, he's become a big impact guy for this Packer defense the last month.
Well, he's got some pretty good genes, doesn't he? That's Clay Matthews. 19 years his dad played in the NFL. And he's just learning how to play outside linebacker in a 3-4 defense. But when you see him get rid of a 6'9" tackle like Jared Gaither, you know he's making progress. I like this guy's makeup. I like his genes. He's going to become a force for the Green Bay Packers. I like that hairstyle too.
Now you blondes are all alike.
2 down linemen and a linebacker rushing as Flacco throws a deep shot downfield. Clayton trying to bring it in. He was brought down, and Tramon Williams will be called for a very long pass interference flag.
Joe Flacco has a big arm, and he's not afraid to use it. He will throw the football down the field. He will give his receiver a chance.
Number 20, defense, first down.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to the penalties that both of these teams have had against them all year. That's clearly an arm bar. You see Tramon Williams, he's got Clayton's arm, and the referee does an excellent job being on top of that. And that is a big penalty in terms of yardage.
It clearly was. Williams, not 20, Bigby. Referee did an excellent job of the call.
And the Ravens using their unbalanced line, Mike.
On first down, flea flicker, back to Flacco, who looks downfield. A lot of Packers down there. Intercepted by Collins. 2 takeaways and a lot of room to run. Now he runs into the middle there at midfield. He cut back to the outside. He had half the field. But Nick Collins has a fumble recovery and a pick in the first quarter.
Well, it's a flea flicker. What a great time to call it. You're in good field position early. You see the flea flicker. You're going to see Mason, and you're going to see Clayton work a two-man combination. But it doesn't fool Nick Collins. He's quick to diagnose it, and he can cover a lot of space with that athletic ability. But that's a bad decision by Joe Flacco. Both of these young quarterbacks have forced the ball early in this football game, and let's see if Green Bay can settle down now and play Packer football. A lot of carelessness here early in this ball game.
What a factor Collins has been over the last 6 games. Rodgers throws far side after he was hit in the pocket. Pass is incomplete. We have a marker down. Antoine Barnes with big pressure as Clifton was just
Holding, number 76, offense. 10-yard penalty.
Well, Antoine Barnes is really quick off the edge. He'll be number 50, matched against Chad Clifton. You'll see right there, back to the inside. There's the hole. That's pretty obvious right there. But Chad Clifton got beat immediately to the inside. No chance for Aaron Rodgers.
You know, Greg Madison, the defensive coordinator of the Ravens, wants to rev up the Ravens' 4-man pass rush. That's why Antoine Barnes is wearing a helmet tonight. He's been inactive in past weeks, but he has legitimate 4.5 speed, and you're going to see him everywhere tonight.
After the flag, it's 1st and 20. They run Grant. Ray Lewis tailgating, chases him down at the 45. So that's a pickup of 7 for Grant.
You know, when you look at this Green Bay Packer offense, Aaron Rodgers, great futures, had the statistics we talked about. Ryan Grant, Jennings, Driver. They've had 44 sacks, and they're second in the NFL in penalties. And that has forced this offense to work from way behind in the down and distance. Let's see if they can overcome that here.
Absolutely right, John. 17 of those 44 sacks came on first down. That'll get you off schedule.
Second and 13, Rodgers throws complete. They'll take it across midfield. That's your Michael Finley. Donnell Ellerby, big factor on that earlier play. Near fumble, makes the tackle.
Packers do a nice job. They get that 1st and 20. They get a running play, a positive play, short pass, set up a manageable 3rd down and 7 situation.
This is where the Ravens love to play defense. This is where their creative blitzes occur. 3rd down and 7+. And this is one of those situations.
Rodgers fires. Jennings couldn't bring it in on the sideline. And we'll have 4th down for the Ravens defense. Able to stand up after a turnover by the offense.
Well, so far so good. This Ravens secondary's matched up pretty good with this skilled wide receiver core, the Green Bay Packers. And that's an important get-off for the Ravens right there.
Jeremy Kapanos in punt formation for Green Bay, back deep for the
Chris
Ravens.
Carr is going to go back. This is a part of the Ravens that was not pleasing the head coach, John Harbaugh, who was a very good special teams coach with the Eagles for a long time. Punt team return seems to have improved over the last few games. Jeremy Kapanos, the punter, not having a good net punting season. Just couldn't keep that one inside the goal line. 49-yard kick was just a net of 29. Final 3 seconds of the first quarter. 8th consecutive year, V Foundation for Cancer Research is joining forces with the game officials, not just here in the NFL, but the NBA as well. We're so glad they're on board for Blow the Whistle on Cancer as we wrap up Jimmy V Week here on ESPN. All 120 active officials in the NFL Referees Association donating a portion of their salary to the V Foundation. A lot of their former colleagues, Bob Line, his personal battle with cancer, Dino Pagnelli's wife, Christy, as well. We salute the 3rd team on the field, all the officials, for helping us at ESPN here on Jimmy V Week continue that search to find a cure for cancer. Every penny that's donated to the V Foundation is awarded to cancer research. The folks do an unbelievable job. Willis McGahee is the back. Stopped by A.J. Hawk. No gain. And the quarter comes to an end. We had 3 turnovers and 3 points in the first quarter. Green Bay on top. 3-0 after 1. Very simple equation. If you've ever wanted a street named after you, just win the Super Bowl in Green Bay. It's pretty easy. Just got to get the job and win the Super Bowl. That's all. That's it. That's it.
Oh, wow.
Lombardi Avenue. Lombardi Avenue. Walked down Holmgren the other day. Look at the big #1 pick. B.J. Raji. Submerged McGahee for a loss of yardage.
I like this guy. B.J. Raji, the 9th overall pick out of Boston College. He's been hurt. He's had a high ankle sprain, missed most of training camp. Right now, he's just getting healthy. But B.J. Raji has quickness to penetrate, and he has power to leverage you. But that's just an excellent job against the Pro Bowl guard in Ben Grubbs of taking over the game right there. Excellent start for B.J. Raji.
Over the veteran center, Burke on 3rd and 13. Flacco wanted to air it out. Now throws, and it could not be brought in by the veteran Mason. 4th down.
That's been the problem with this Baltimore Raven offense for the last several weeks. They just can't get off to a good start. They've scored 2 offensive touchdowns in their last 7 games in the first half, and both of those were last week against Pittsburgh. Somebody's got to make a play early in a football game, but turnovers, penalties, and the inability to get anything going offensively in the first half of football games is a big part of this 3-5 dogma that is hitting the Ravens here in this last 8 weeks.
Sam Cook kicks, fair caught by Jordy Nelson. 51 on the punt, no return, and the Packers will take over at the 32. Great first drive. Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense stymied the last 2. Let's see what he does when he comes back.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by the GMC Sierra, the official vehicle of the NFL. Canon Rebel T1i, shooting in 1080p full HD video, inspired by Canon. Applebee's, it's a whole new neighborhood. And new Lee Relaxed Fit jeans. Relaxed fit, relaxed price. Lee, get what fits.
Part of the backbone of this state, family-owned dairy farms. Hard-working folks like the Allens. That's Warren, Donna, and their family here in Green Bay. They've been working on farms for generations. Part of the great fiber of good Midwestern people up here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. A minute into the quarter, Packers lead 3-0. Score came on the opening drive. 32, Rodgers is caught by Lee, a gain of 3.
Let me show you what Aaron Rodgers does with this dummy snap count. You see the tight end go in motion all the time in this offense, and then he resets. And it allows Aaron Rodgers and his center, the 2 guards, to coordinate who they should block. Watch the right guard and tackle open up and pass protect. And Rodgers knows exactly where to go with the ball. But this communication is intense, and it's well rehearsed. And it all starts with that dummy snap count. And I'm telling you, Rodgers is looking for the big play sooner or later.
Second down off the hands of Jennings and the defensive back Carr, and nearly an interception. Rodgers is looking for a flag but doesn't get it. 3rd down. Come back to the dummy snap count and the importance of doing that. Why do guys need to do that to have a quarterback have real control of the offense?
Well, when you play the Baltimore Ravens, you know they love to blitz on every down, and they come from everywhere. So what they're trying to do is see where the blitz is coming from, potentially to organize their pass protection and possibly change the play at the line of scrimmage to take advantage of a matchup.
You get a whistle and some motion there. It's exactly what we're talking about.
Sometimes your own guy jumps off sides.
And Clifton's saying, wait a minute, I moved because Jared Johnson moved.
That's why we call it a dummy snap count. Don't be the dummy. Trying to take a look at the defense.
Neutral zone infraction, number 95, Defense moving into the neutral zone, causing a reaction by the offensive player. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
But here's what I'm talking about. Watch the Green Bay Packers. Well, here's a double move we saw. That's not the look we wanted to show you. But they're looking for one-on-one matchups, and when they get it, Aaron Rodgers will signal a route out there, and he'll go downtown on you.
Well, that's part of that. When you make that dummy call, all of a sudden you see you got a signal on the outside, then you take your shot.
Right.
You set your protection, you got the isolation route, and you go for it. That's what Aaron Rodgers is very good at.
And there it helped him get from 37 to 32. Good throw by Rodgers. Complete for the first down into Raven territory at the 45 for James Jones in front of Chris Carr.
This is a timing and rhythm offense, and you can't do it any better than Aaron Rodgers and James Jones executed this backside throw. You'll see Rodgers here, sets protection. Knows he's got the one-on-one on the outside. Steps up in the pocket. Look at the accuracy. The only place to put the football, he put it so Jones could make the catch.
Gain of 16 for Jones. He's got 3 catches tonight. And Grant, fullback Kuhn blocking for him, only gets a yard. Dewan Edwards on tackle.
But you have to know when you play the Green Bay Packers, they can use all this pre-snap movement to see what defense you're in. If you play bump and run against Greg Jennings, they're going to go deep on you. If you play bump and run against James Jones, they're going to go deep on you, and they offset that with that fly stop that you just saw to James Jones. The Packers love to throw the ball deep, and they go to extreme measures to try to find bump and run man-to-man coverage.
Second down, Rodgers, one right through the hands of Jennings, and incomplete.
Well, Jennings has to make that catch. Now you see the Ravens backing off a little bit in coverage, and Aaron Rodgers goes to the old school slant. It's been in this offense forever, and the ball's thrown well enough for Jennings to make that catch.
That corner off, they play the zone. There's that first lane. Put it right in the belt buckle. John said, got to make that catch. That's the foundation of this offense.
Love the slant pattern here.
And Reed on the sideline, he's doing more coaching than the coaches. Good pickup with the pressure up front, but good coverage deep. Darius Webb with a nice job following Jones, and it'll be 4th down, and the Packers will punt it away.
That's good defense by the Baltimore Ravens. Let's give them credit. They're missing Fabian Washington, a starting corner. They're missing their all-pro safety, Ed Reed. And really, the Green Bay Packers have protected quite well. It's a credit to the Ravens secondary here in the first half tonight.
See if Kapanos can get this one inside the 10. Carr runs up to fair catch it. At the 16-yard line, 29-yard punt. No return. Another long field. See if the Raven offense can get going. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya down on the warm field here at Lambeau. Well, it's warmer than it could have been.
Well, yeah, it's no longer the frozen tundra. They have these like heat pipes underneath now.
Yeah.
Very, very good footing, by the way.
They have not had a big snowstorm yet here. One's on the way for tomorrow. It feels like 12 with the slight wind. First down run to Rice. Stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Lost of a yard. Cullen Jenkins. Sports Center right now. Here's Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, thank you. Comings and goings at Notre Dame. As expected, quarterback Jimmy Clausen going to forgo his senior season and will enter the NFL draft. Meanwhile, Cincinnati's Brian Kelly's going to interview for the Notre Dame job tomorrow. Tim Tebow looking to repeat as a Heisman Trophy winner. Colt McCoy, Bama running back Mark Ingram, Toby Gerhart, and Ndamukong Suh are the finalists. The announcement 8 p.m. Saturday night on ESPN. Back to Lambeau, Mike.
All right, Trey, thank you. See Trey for NFL Primetime after Sports Center tonight. The pressure's picked up. Flacco's pass is incomplete, but a marker comes down as Mason was being jostled by the former Heisman winner Woodson.
Pass interference, number 21, defense. First down.
Well, Woodson just sat on that route. He was in perfect position on Derek Mason. You'll see all night long. This is what you're going to see. Well, he did kind of wrap the arm around him and inhibit him to get outside. Yeah, you got to throw that flag. I can't understand what the Ravens are trying to do offensively here right now. I mean, they're going heavy. They're going, the overloads. They're throwing. They're running. They're getting nothing going. Their offensive line is getting handled right now. They got to find something they can hang their hat on.
First down play action. Matthews after Flacco. Got him. Loss of 6. It's a half dozen sacks on the season for Matthews.
This guy, Clay Matthews, you sit down, you know this guy's going to be a great pro player. Here he just beats Gaither with a simple speed move. And I really like what Matthews told us a couple days ago, guys. He said, I just refuse to not be an NFL player. His work ethic, his commitment to this game is going to allow him to be an outstanding player because he has a lot of talent.
Jared Gaither better make that same commitment because you can't lunge like that and make that kind of play on a rookie rusher.
Matthews offside this time. Free play for Flacco. Playing ring around the rosy here. Able to try to find Ray Rice on the sideline, but it's incomplete. Literally being running circles by the Packer defense.
Offside, number 52, defense. 5-yard penalty. It's still second down.
You mentioned the strong gene pool, John. Let's go through third generation of Matthews in the NFL. Grandfather Clay in the 50s. His dad played 19 seasons, so many with Cleveland. Uncle Bruce, a stalwart offensive lineman for the Oilers franchise for 19 years. And now Clay, who, as you mentioned, John, had to work at it. He was a walk-on at Southern California and really worked his way to a position the last year of being a huge impact player on Pete Carroll's defense. And now first-round pick and a big factor for these Packers. 2nd and 11. That screen was well diagnosed and blown up by the Packers. 3rd and 11. You guys mentioned Clay Matthews.
Well, he learned from his dad. Take a look at this guy, Clay Matthews. He could probably walk in here tonight and play. There he is against your Philadelphia Eagles. He did it for 19 years. And his son's a rookie. I got a feeling Clay Matthews is in the house tonight watching his son. And Clay Jr. told us his dad calls him after every game and points out things he needs to work on. One of them this week is stay on side.
I wish they had showed some of those pass plays I shredded them with. That was runs, John.
3rd and 11. Matthews coming inside on a stunt. Forces Flacco to get out of the pocket. And run out to the 30. 5 yards shy of a first down. It'll be 4th down. And Matthews is the reason he is flushed.
Well, Clay Matthews is an effort guy. He's all over the field. You'll see the hair, number 52, slanting to the inside. Stays on his feet, chases Joe Flacco, gets knocked down by Gaither. You figured he owed him that shot right there, but tremendous effort you get from Clay Matthews.
Cook's punt a beauty. 54 yards. Nelson from the 16. Great rundown on special teams by Kerry Williams. The Packers a long field to go. They lead the world in blonde linebackers. A.J. Hawk and Clay Matthews. Great setting here at Lambeau. Not a great game, to be very frank, right now inside this awesome stadium.
A lot of carelessness and too many penalties for two teams that are vying for a playoff spot.
Absolutely. It's a hugely important game in each conference's wild card chase. Grant left. Good gain of 7.5 there on first down. Let's give you the perspective of the wild card. You know the division leaders. We'll put them aside for a second. The Eagles are 8-4. The Packers at 7-4. With the Giants on their heels to lose tonight, you're tied with the Giants. Atlanta 6-6 into wild card trouble with tiebreakers. But you see, Mike McCarthy's team, and nobody really has an easy road of those teams left in the NFC. The chance to stay ahead and be in control of your own fate. So important this time of year. You got to take care of home field. Back-to-back runs with Grant. That time Ray Lewis right there with Nata to stop him near the first down. the importance for the Ravens. Right now, the wild card spots belong to Denver and to Jacksonville. And the Jaguars are playing in front of nobody and in anonymity, but they're 7-5. Ravens want to get there to pull even with Jacksonville, although the Jags do a tiebreaker edge for the moment with Baltimore. A lot of fans of the Dolphins, the Jets, and the Steelers who are Packer backers tonight. They want to see Harbaugh's team come on down to them at 6-6 and make it a tight run for the final quarter of the season.
How about a little love to Jack Del Rio and the Jacksonville Jaguars? You know, no one has seen them. In fact, you said their stadium was half empty, which we've seen almost every week. But Jack's got them playing hard. That team has gone through a major transition, a young football team.
That's a good point. And nobody's going to see them play in person or on TV, and then they're going to show up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's really an incredible run. 2 runs by Grant get a first down for the Packers.
Finally, some offense.
I think that's important for the Packers. They want to be a balanced offense down the stretch as the weather breaks here, and to run the ball back-to-back times against this rushing defense and get a first down is something that's going to help the Packers set up some play-action pass and some bootlegs here later on.
Third straight run. Again, Grant. Again, Nata. Haloti Ngata.
Haloti Ngata. This guy can dominate as an interior run defender. Take a look at him. Shed the guard. Find the ball carrier. And when he hits you, you go sideways or backwards. Haloti Ngata. Remember those days when he played rugby? This guy's a great athlete for a big man.
And you may see him getting a little offense in this game as well. He's been playing some fullback.
See the impact when he's out of the lineup. Blitzing up the middle. That was picked up. Rodgers goes to Jennings. They want a flag, and they got it. There's one last pull by Frank Walker on Jennings' arm as he was coming down the sideline, and that'll give the Packers a first down.
The Baltimore Ravens came with the pressure, easily identified by Aaron Rodgers.
Pass interference, number 41, defense, first down.
There will be pressure up the middle. Aaron Rodgers will understand it is coming. Right up the middle, you're going to see the pressure. Once he sees that, he knows he's got the single isolation route on the outside and delivers the football. And there's the hold right there on Frank Walker.
That's the 10th pass interference call against the Ravens. That's more than anybody in the NFL. 10.
Amon Green is in the game at running back. He picks up the blitz. And a down the middle strike is caught for the first down by Jermichael Finley. What a job by Green on blitz pickup. Gain of 28.
You know, you can give the quarterback all these stats. It is a great throw, and it's a big game. But take a look at this blitz pickup by Brandon Jackson. And Mike McCarthy told us, we need Brandon Jackson.
That was actually
Amon Green. I'm sorry, guys. Amon Green. How about that? The all-time leading ball carrier in Packer history coming in to pick up blitzes. Great job by Amon Green.
And that was his first snap in the backfield tonight, too. From the 19, he gets a chance to tote it. To the left, and keeping the legs churning for 4 yards to the 15. Juwan Edwards with the tackle. John just mentioned him, the all-time leading Packer rusher. He was not that after his first run. He went to Houston for a couple of years. That didn't work. He returned here week 7, and he broke Jim Taylor's longtime record, most rushing yards for the Packers.
Well, what confuses me is he wore number 34. All those days he was ripping me as a Packer. He wore number 30. But Amon Green is an outstanding football player. Good to have him back in Green Bay.
And they reward him with a good block. Hey, here's a carry.
Third place going Ryan Grant. They'll carry with a shotgun run to take it to the 12-yard line. You know, I like what we're seeing with the Packers here. Mike McCarthy is trying to get the run game developed on this team, and you can understand with a half dozen offensive line combinations, injury, inability, it was hard to do that. And this was morphed into a passing team. But when you play in Green Bay and outdoors in cold places in December, you better be able to line up and run.
You have to bring the running game, and it also sets up their play action passing and their passing game in general. This offensive line has been very inconsistent in their pass protection. You want to help them? Run the football.
Jackson in now on 3rd and 3.
Penalties again.
Both sides.
They are the killers. The number 1 and 2 most penalized teams.
Number 76, offense, 5-yard penalty.
I get the feeling with all these dummy snap counts, Green Bay needs to just get up and go. Because the tempo right now is clearly not helping Green Bay. The Ravens are taking advantage by playing a lot of zone coverage. It just looks like Green Bay's a little bit sluggish with all this pre-snap movement.
Tonight we have 125 total penalty yards, both teams, and 178 yards of offense. Not good.
Sloppy.
Third and 8 from the 17. Rodgers waiting, firing, caught inside the 3. Finley brings it to 1st and goal for Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers on 3rd down all season long has been absolutely on fire. He can just locate receivers. Outstanding pass protection. Look at the eyes down the field, scanning the field. He finally finds Finley, puts it on the money, almost gets it in the end zone.
Well, pass protection is outstanding. And if you give Aaron Rodgers that kind of time, you're in trouble.
Tauscher did a good job with the right tackle on Garrett Johnson. 1st and goal. 3 tight ends emptying out the backfield. To a pass look. To Finley. Held on. Touchdown. In front of Zibikowski. And into the Lambeau League section.
Tom Zibikowski at 5'11", matched against Jermichael Finley at 6'5". That's a mismatch.
Well, take a look at it. He's going to motion out of the backfield, and Aaron Rodgers is going to take a look at the defense. He sees Zibikowski covering Jermichael Finley, not Lambeau, not tonight. And Rodgers goes right to him for an easy score. Jermichael Finley can mismatch you. That's excellent work by the Green Bay Packers staff. And obviously Aaron Rodgers.
Mason Crosby adds the extra point, and the Packers score the game's first touchdown. Jermichael Finley has 2 touchdowns this season, both on Monday Night Football. We had him against Minnesota at a 62-yarder, and here a short touchdown to make it 10-0 Packers. Another 80-yard drive. That's 14 of them this year for this Green Bay offense.
That's hard to do. Especially against good defenses like the Ravens. You got to convert 3rd downs, and you got to stay away from the penalties.
Aaron Rodgers on 3rd down. I got the numbers for you, my friend. 5 of 7, 52 yards. He continues to be on fire.
Brought down by Lardarius Webb. Looking for space. Couldn't get out to the 25-yard line. Stopped shy by Brandon Schiller.
Well, Aaron Rodgers has been off to a great start. He's using all of his receivers, but you got to take a good look at the pass protection. This offensive line's done an excellent job giving him time, Ron, to get to his 2nd and 3rd receivers. And obviously, Jermichael Finley is a matchup problem right now for the Ravens.
Yeah, some props to Chad Clifton, Mark Tauscher. They have come in and solidified this offensive line. You just don't beat them quickly. That gives Rodgers enough time to survey the field and get the ball out of his hand.
Baltimore's got 4.5 minutes and a couple of timeouts. Try to get on the board. Everything covered downfield for Flacco. Rice is going to catch. Get out of Brad Jones' tackle. Get away from Ryan Pickett. And that's what Ray Rice does. He should have lost 3. He made 4 on that one. This has not been an offensive clinic from the Ravens. They had a good drive going to start the game, and Rice fumbled after that. 3 and a pick, 3 and out, and 1 first down, and then a punt on that last drive.
Yeah, they have established nothing tonight, and they've got to get their offensive line going. They've tried to run the football, got nothing. Flacco's had no time in the pocket. Cam Cameron, the offensive coordinator, has got to find something. He's got to get his offense going, or they're going to get run out of here.
A total of 60 yards on 19 plays. Back to Rice. Nowhere to go, and that's the second play for The number 9 pick of this past draft, B.J. Raji.
Boy, B.J. Raji, he is an explosive guy. They blitzed Nick Collins on the other side of the formation, but that's just good lateral quickness, good agility for a big guy.
He just got rid of Ben Grubbs like it was nothing.
Yeah, and Ben Grubbs is, was a mid-season All-Pro player. He's having a tough time with B.J. Raji and Cullen Jenkins.
Third down, showing pressure. They only rushed 4. Flacco's pass is incomplete. And it'll be 4th down.
There is no separation by the Ravens receivers. Flacco has nowhere to go with the football. He's trying to stay with his progression, just can't find an open receiver.
Well, he's trying to get other guys involved too, Ron. I mean, you look at Todd Heap coming in motion. They love to run option routes, quick post patterns to Todd Heap in this situation. But there's A.J. Hawk almost running the route for Todd Heap. There's nowhere to go with the football. This Green Bay Packer defense is off to a heck of a start.
This kick was a poor one, and will go 38 yards and be down to the 32. As after Cook bombed a good one a moment ago, couldn't get anything on that one.
The Packers defense, props to Dom Capers. They lose Al Harris, the outstanding cornerback. They lose Aaron Campman, the all-pro defensive end pass rusher. They've come in. Young guys have stepped up. Tremont Williams takes over. Brad Jones. We focused on Clay Matthews, but a couple rookies playing the outside linebacker spots. You look at the guys inside, A.J. Hawk, Nick Barnett. This is a good, young defensive football team that have showed up to play tonight. Well, I forgot to mention Charles Woodson. What a year he's having.
One of the reasons we're not hearing much from Mason tonight. He has 1 catch. Woodson flags for pass interference once as well. Rodgers right back on the field. Still at the 36-yard line. Brandon Jackson comes in to get it. Well, guys, it's the only team to lose to the Buccaneers this year. It was November 8th. The creamsicle uniforms came out from the winless Buck days, and the winless Bucks of this era got a win. Rodgers sacked 6 times, picked 3 times. Jannard Jackson is the team hit 4 and 4. They've turned it around, winning their last 3 since then. Pass to Jordy Nelson, yards shy of the first down. So we hear the word team meetings all the time around sports as we get to the 2-minute warning. These guys had a team meeting, and Aaron Rodgers was great. He told us, you know what? Guys took the blame individually on themselves. They said, hey, we are making mistakes. The O-line said, hey, wait a minute. You guys got to help us out, too. Whatever was said, everybody's figured out their role, and things have improved. Packers looking for 4 consecutive wins here tonight. Some of those people have been tailgating since 10 a.m. this morning.
They were here yesterday.
The people who happened to greet us on our way out for lunch today. It's 3rd and 1. Rodgers with a sneak at first down, and he twisted almost into the secondary. Jackson pushing the safety, Zebkowski off his quarterback. It leads to the typical pushing and shoving.
I love that. Protect the quarterback.
First down. It's a 2-minute drill drive here for the Packers. They have all their timeouts. In the meantime, all that pushing and shoving spun 25 seconds off the clock. Green Bay a full complement of timeouts, as you saw. Rodgers on that slant for Driver. Incomplete, flag from deep in the secondary. Thrown by the backup.
Well, that's going to be the 11th pass interference call on this Ravens secondary.
Pass interference, number 21, defense. First down.
The rookie Webb.
I'm driving down the road. Watch Ladarius Webb. He's going to get there early. It's going to be a sharp post pattern by Driver, and he hooked Donald. And the referees are paid a lot of money to watch for these fouls, but that is killing the Baltimore Ravens. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but 11 pass interference penalties in 12 games. That'll get you beat.
Hey, let's go. 41, pressure up the middle, and they get to Rodgers. He's brought down by the veteran Trevor Price. His 6th sack of the season. And a timeout is taken by the Pack with 1:18 to go. Packers are facing 2nd and 17. Each team a couple of timeouts. Green Bay leading 10-0. Important game with wild card implications both ways. Packers currently sitting in the final spot. Ravens one outside of the final AFC spot at the moment. 4 games to go after tonight. The Price sack. Rodgers room to run. A great runner. There's a first down and more. All the way to the 25. 23.
That's an intuitive play by Aaron Rodgers. Once he broke the pocket, he settled to look for receiver. But then he saw that middle of the field wide open, and he just took off. You'll see him slide to his right, but eyes still downfield to make a throw. The pump fake moved the defense. He manipulated the coverage. Big play for the Packers.
First down came to Brandon Jackson and incomplete. John, how big is that ability that Aaron Rodgers has, not just to scramble, but to run effectively?
Well, it's huge. Obviously, in this game, the Ravens are playing a lot more zone coverage than they normally do. And Aaron Rodgers can keep plays alive. He can run around and throw it, and he can run and run and run and run, because this guy is a force running a football. He's got over 260 yards rushing. He's just by far the leading rusher at the quarterback position in the NFL.
Yeah, he now has 19 first downs rushing. He had 17 coming into the game and a couple tonight. Actually 3 at the quarterback sneak for a first down.
The 25, Ravens bring pressure. Rodgers, the back shoulder throw to Jennings. What a shot inside the 10, 1st and goal.
That was a laser, as we like to say in the quarterback fraternity. One-on-one in the outside. You can't throw the football any better than this.
Used to call this route the fly stop. You're going to see the receiver take off, flying down the field, and Aaron Rodgers stops him with the throw. Watch
really
Greg
good
Jennings
coverage.
flying down the field, and Aaron Rodgers stops him perfectly with the ball. That takes a lot of practice, let me tell you. But Greg Jennings, for a young receiver, boy, he's got a great future with Aaron Rodgers. Those two guys are going to light it up.
Second quarter has been clinical by the Green Bay Packers.
Rodgers throws his 2nd tonight. No Packer has more receptions in franchise history than Donald Driver. Mason Crosby's extra point makes it 17-0 Green Bay.
One of the great things Donald Driver does is run after the catch. He's just going to run right into the flat, and Aaron Rodgers is going to throw him the ball. He's hard to tackle in the open field. Dominic Foxworth right there has a shot. But Donald Driver, Mike McCarthy told us, playing in cold weather favors us, because opposing defensive backs have a hard time tackling this guy, Donald Driver. And when you look at the numbers of Donald Driver this season, as good as he's been throughout his career, Jaws, he's having a better year this year than he's ever had as a Green Bay Packer. And you're looking at the all-time leading receiver of the Green Bay Packers.
And when you target Donald Driver, you're likely to get a reception. 65% of the times when you throw to him, he'll catch it. That's a high number for a wide receiver.
John mentioned, Jaws, the most receptions in Packer history, past our former colleague and the guy you coached here in Sterling Sharp. Great job Sterling did in Green Bay in the cold weather for many years. Short kickoff. Webb comes down the sideline, pushed out at the 36-yard line by Corey Hall. That touchdown, by the way, by Driver gives him 50. And that gives the Packer franchise 10 players with 50 touchdowns. The only NFL team with 10 players scoring 50 or more touchdowns. And if you look at the list, James Lofton, Antonio Freeman, Sterling Sharp, and Amon Green on there, in addition to the all-time Packers, it's an even mix. 5 from the more modern Packers, 5 from the old-school Packers. And the irony is that you have the Colts franchise, Baltimore and Indianapolis, was tied coming into tonight. They have 9 players in franchise history who caught or ran 50 or more touchdowns. Flacco's got a couple of timeouts to work with. Heat Gets the sideline at the 44.
Pass complete to Heath.
Toyota halftime show's on the way. Chris Berman, Tom Jackson standing by. Boomer taking us through the fastest 3 minutes, and the Saints, the game kept going until they were going to win, as they remain undefeated. How about Arizona? We'll see them next Monday night against San Francisco. Are they in position for another Super Bowl run? And kicking issues. It's happened to a couple of teams, especially in the Beltway. The Ravens had their kicking issues this year, and the Redskins to that as well.
Got to make a 23-yarder.
23 rush. Flacco to Heath is caught for the first down, and Baltimore will have to use a timeout with 15 seconds left.
Ray Rice is the explosive player for the Baltimore Ravens. He's been non-existent. Here he fumbles early in the game, turned the football over. He's getting nowhere to go with the football. Penetration by the Green Bay Packers, D-line and linebackers. No space. Can't even use that great lateral agility that he has. Nowhere to go. Ray Rice not been a factor tonight. His offensive line has given him nowhere to run.
And defensive coordinator Dom Capers has done an excellent job mixing it up. That last play, they rushed 2. Green Bay Packers had 9 in coverage. The Ravens have a timeout left. They can throw the ball into the middle of the field, but they have got to give Billy Cundiff an opportunity at least getting 3 points.
Probably need to get him 16 more yards, too. Flacco throws, that is dropped by Heath, and that probably works out better for Baltimore with 9 seconds left, sitting on that one timeout.
Well, that time Dom Capers brings that double A gap blitz. You're going to see both linebackers come right up the middle. The center's going to take the first one, and Ray Rice, number 27, is going to have to pick up the second. And that puts Joe Flacco in a situation where he's got to move around. And again, the Packers are doing an excellent job of not only pressuring Joe Flacco, but they're doing an excellent job of covering whoever they get out into the route.
At 9 seconds, and there's very little time on the back end of this to get 15, 16 yards and call your timeout. Again, 3 rush. He goes to the 1 receiver side to Heath, and it's incomplete with 4 seconds left. Kind of interesting there. You have all your receivers to the left, and you go to that 1 receiver side. Meantime, the pass rush with Brad Jones caused a little altercation at the end.
Dom Capers really mixes up his defense. You're going to see the 3-4, the 4-3, the bear. They play that 2-4-5. They play a dime coverage. They really mix up to keep the offense off balance. You never know what you're going to get when you break the huddle when you look at a Dom Capers defense.
You're going to get the Hail Mary pass right here. 3 Ravens split wide to the left. They're going to try to push the ball into the end zone on a Hail Mary.
And 3 Packers back at the 10. Flacco certainly has the arm to get it there. And he'll put it up for grabs. And it's deflected and incomplete. Jared Bush got his hands on it. And we get to the first half. It equals the largest deficit of the season for the Ravens. They trailed Minnesota, Cincinnati, and now the Packers by 17. Here's Chris Berman with the Toyota halftime show. First time there's ever been a Monday Night Football game in December in Green Bay. 17-0. The Packers lead the Ravens. The Ravens offense struggling, to say the least. Gets the ball to start the second half. Mike Tirico, Ron Jaworski, John Gruden. Well, you have any answer for how Baltimore can get this going?
Struggling. You're being nice. That was a pathetic performance by the Ravens offense. 24 yards rushing. Joe Flacco's been running for his life. The Ravens offensive line better wake up, or this game's going to be over real quick. In fact, it might be over already. They got to get something going that first possession.
Well, they're going up against one of the top defenses in pro football. Green Bay has proven that. The Ravens don't have a play that they've run tonight for more than 7 yards. Ray Rice, Willis McGahee have run the ball for 8 yards and 9 carries. Green Bay's got to close the door now at home. They need to finish and keep doing what they've done, mixing pressure with zone and good physical play.
Lardarius Webb will return it. If you're just tuning in, our temperatures in the low 20s, wind chill in the upper teens. No snow in the forecast, but a very tough night. We've seen a couple of mishandles of the ball. Webb goes down shy of the 20. And here's Michelle Tafoya.
Well, hey, guys, spoke with both coaches. You know, John Harbaugh told us before the game he'd learn a lot about his team tonight. So I asked him what he's seen so far, and he said the game's not over yet, but we need to do every single thing better. We need to throw and catch better, block better, etc. As for Mike McCarthy, he said fundamentals, focus, and finish. Just like you said, John, we've got to play 60 minutes. We've been in this situation before and ended up losing games. We've got to finish. And one big emphasis, kickoff coverage. Can't let the momentum swing back to Baltimore.
Oh, they did a good job of that right out of the gate, Michelle. Webb helped them by dropping the ball. Woodson's been a factor in blanketing Derek Mason, limiting the veteran to one catch. Ray Rice has had nowhere to run tonight. Only gains 2 yards there. It's a Baltimore offense that is under 3 yards per play in the first half. 72 total yards, almost as many penalty yards. And the Packers have been bad boys as well with the flags, but Green Bay really had 2 good, solid drives to close out the second quarter. 2 touchdown passes. Ravens turned it over twice, the Packers once. Pressure. Flacco had to run away, get it to Rice, tackled by Cullen Jenkins to set up a third down.
The Packers defense has been outstanding in this game. They're going to load the box. You're going to get 8 in the box, and they are going to play downhill. They attack, nowhere to run for Ray Rice. And then you get the double A-gap blitz. Barnett and then Hawk. Flushes Joe Flacco from the pocket. Nowhere to go. Good coverage downfield. Incomplete to Todd Heap. That Packer defense is flying around tonight under Dom Capers' leadership.
And 2 rookies are going to rush off the end here. 59 Jones, 52 Matthews. Each end of the line. 3rd and 4. Flacco got it out of his hands quick. 2 Heap, 4 first down. He had 4 progress out at about the 29-yard line before those inside backers, Hawk and Barnett, knocked him down.
This is a big series for the Ravens. They motioned Ray Rice out of the backfield and just ran a simple stick-out route to Todd Heap. And Todd did a nice job knowing exactly what he needed for the first down. Flacco put the ball right between his numbers. But the Ravens have got to get that tempo going. Try to get some momentum here, John, to start the third quarter.
John, you're absolutely right. They're slow in and out of the huddle. They break the huddle with 11 seconds left on the clock. You know, their rhythm just isn't there tonight. The tempo isn't there.
Flacco had nobody open. And comes back to LaRon McClain, who couldn't handle it as he was being covered by Brandon Schiller. Matthews the pressure.
Well, this time Dom Capers is going to jump into the old school Bear defense. They're going to cover all these linemen, and you're going to see Nick Barnett come in here to cover the tight end. But this is a pressure front. They're anticipating a rundown, and they create 5-on-5 up front. Hard for you to throw the football against that unless you have a route that's designed to beat man-to-man. Another call by Don Capers. He's really mixing it up tonight on first down.
Yeah, that throwback Bear defense. Cover everybody up front, force those one-on-one blocks, and get after the quarterback.
2nd and 10, pressure coming from Jared Bush, the nickel. Rice dropped it. Incomplete. And it's 3rd down. John and Jaws, I'm thinking back to a visit I had up here during the summer. There were a lot of questions about Dom Capers coming in with the 3-4. This was not a 3-4 team. Question of did they have 3-4 personnel. How have you seen this team make that transition during the season?
I think it's hard. I think you need to credit Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy also. Drafting B.J. Raji, trading up in the first round to get Clay Matthews. They've done it without Al Harris and Aaron Camp and 2 Pro Bowl defenders. But for you to put a 3-4 defense in year one and have this success is uncommon.
Flacco pressured, brought down by the rookie out of Colorado, 7th round pick, Brad Jones.
That's that guy, Brad Jones, 7th round draft choice out of Colorado. And Dom Capers has said that he reminds him of Chad Brown, the old Pittsburgh Steeler. He is a relentless pass rusher. He's quick, and he has the speed to turn the corner. This guy, for a rookie, has really come in here and turned heads.
The foundation of the 3-4 defense, those outside linebackers, Clay Matthews and Brad Jones, they're the outside linebackers for the future of the Green Bay Packers.
That was Jones' first career sack. Cook with the punt, 44 yards. Jordy Nelson catches, returns it 7, put it on the ground. They're going to rule he was out of bounds as we have a penalty marker down, along with everything else going on that one.
During the kick, holding number 57 of the receiving team. That'll be a 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. It'll be first down Green Bay.
It'll back
Timeout.
Aaron Rodgers up to the 28. They're in good shape on the board, up 17. Lambeau Field, longest tenured stadium in the NFL, 53rd season. Think about pro sports in North America. Only Fenway and Wrigley come in longevity before Lambeau. From the 20, Aaron Rodgers in this offense. Up 17, and Ryan Grant left. Got 4 yards on first down.
You know, in that first half, Aaron Rodgers once again outstanding on third down. You'll see here as he reads the blitz. Here comes the pressure from the Ravens. What a job by the offensive line. Darren College, Chad Clifton, and the pickup by Brandon Jackson. But watch the vision downfield, the anticipation, and the quick release of Aaron Rodgers. Another completion on first down for a first down. He came into the game the best NFL quarterback on third down with a ridiculous rating of 135, and it continues tonight.
Second and 6. Gets it out to Jennings with a lot of room. First down to the 36.
Pass complete to Jennings.
You know, this Aaron Rodgers, he does a great job audibling as well as playing a quarterback position. But watch what happens here. He sees the Bear defense from the Baltimore Ravens. He sees off coverage down here, and he says, you know what, I'm just going to pick it up and fire it out to Greg Jennings. That's a lot of yards. When you play too soft, too far off these Packer receivers, they'll throw the ball quick and in front of you. And that's hard to defend.
The running play called, throw to the uncovered wide receiver.
Grant left, a lot of white shirts there. Nata leads the tackle. You know, guys, we talk about both of these quarterbacks. They are in their second year as full-time starters, but it's very different. Flacco coming in out of Delaware, Rodgers with the 3 years sitting, waiting, understudy, if you will, for Brett Favre. And you really see the difference of having that time to learn.
There's a maturity to Aaron Rodgers' game immediately when he got on the field as a player. I'm an old school guy when it comes to that quarterback position. I like a guy to learn a little bit so he's more prepared when his time comes. He certainly learned a lot from Brett Favre. That's a guy he'd like to play behind, certainly.
Second and 10, Rodgers eludes the sack. The flag is down as Nata was knocked down, and now Rodgers is knocked down by the combination of Kelly Gregg and Paul Kruger. Kruger had the big interception in overtime to set up the game-winning field goal last week against Pittsburgh.
Illegal hands to the face, number 93, defense. That's a 5-yard penalty, first down.
It'll go on Dewan Edwards and give another first down.
That's clearly one of those situations. Although there was pressure on Aaron Rodgers and there's going to be a penalty on Dewan Edwards, you'd like to see Aaron Rodgers get rid of the football. He came into this game leading the NFL in sacks, having taken 44. When you feel that pressure, if there's a knock on Aaron Rodgers, he'll hold on to the ball a bit too long to wait. Sometimes the best throw is just throw it away and play another down.
The best play because it's the only play.
Thank you, John.
John said that about 1,000 times to a variety of NFL quarterbacks. Spencer Havner, 41's in the game. Mr. Michael Finley, the tight end who has a touchdown, is headed off to the locker room. Came up gimpy on the first play of this series. Grant weaving his way toward midfield. Another penalty marker down.
Holding number 63, offense. It's 10-yard penalty. It's first down.
Penalty 13 here of the night, 160-plus penalty yards, both teams combined. I'd like to come back to the Rodgers conversation for a second. He talked about some of the things he needs to improve on here in his second season. I was honestly surprised with both of you as we prepared for the game. You were both effusive in your praise of Rodgers and where you think his upside is.
I don't think there's any question. Now, he had a chance to sit behind Brett Favre for a couple of years before he began his playing career, and that certainly helps. But both of these guys are in their 28th or 29th start consecutive. They're running out of excuses. They need to deliver at this time of year.
5 rushes picked up. Rodgers downfield. The driver looking for a flag on Landry, and there it is. Ravens sideline wants uncatchable.
We have DeJuan Landry running down the seam with Donald Driver.
Pass interference, number 26, defense. First down.
John, what is that, 12 now?
That's 12. You see Landry carrying Driver down the seam, and, I just get to the end of the day, it's almost like the referees are just holding on to that flag, waiting for another Raven penalty in the secondary. I think that's the 3rd or 4th pass interference tonight, number 4 against the Ravens secondary.
And like you said, 12 for the season, and John Harbaugh has addressed it with his team. Really got specific with how he addressed it with his defensive backs over the last couple of weeks. Rodgers with a pump. The deep stuff was covered. He just throws it to the down marker and incomplete.
So I'd rather see Aaron Rodgers make that play right there, because, John, why?
That's the only play again.
Hey, very good. Right on cue. I'm glad.
I want to go back to the quarterbacks, though. Last year, Flacco has this rookie sensation year. He's years ahead of the learning curve. And now all of a sudden we're saying he's a young quarterback again. These guys have played now 28 starts. And here we are in December. And there's a lot at stake here in these games. And whether we like it or not, somebody's got to step up and make the plays.
Second and 10, a Grant run. Slithers through for 4. We told you Jermichael Finley left the field to head to the locker room. X-rays on his knee happening back there. His return questionable. He's a very good and key part of this Green Bay offense as they go forward. I mentioned it happened right at the start of this 3rd quarter. Finley's 88. And he got hurt as Dominic Foxworth, coming in for the tackle, unintentionally whipped into that left knee.
Getting 3rd down, it's almost automatic for Rodgers. Here comes the pressure from the Ravens.
Well, they showed their hands, so Rodgers has an idea where to go. There, Driver lost the football. Frank Walker, 41, trying to get it for Baltimore, and he has it. We'll look at a replay to make sure it was a catch and continued.
Once again, Aaron Rodgers does a terrific job in the huddle. He holds the count, allows his receivers to see what the defense is, and fires a strike to Donald Driver, but he's not able to hold on.
I think it's a fumble. It's a catch and 2 steps down. Chris Carr knocked it away. Walker recovers a turnover. Turnover for the Packers. It'll be their second of the night. Baltimore has 2. Let's just take a quick peek at this one more time from this angle and watch his Driver catches it and is in the process of putting the ball away as he takes the first step, then the second, and Carr comes in to knock it free. Packers had a look at that before we went to break. Choose not to challenge. Flacco's throw is high and incomplete. Intended for Clayton. Has he caught one tonight? Nope. Nothing. Flacco struggling as well. 8 of 19 passing.
A lot of this Raven passing attack is play action passing. And when you're down 17-0, these play action passes don't have the sting that they normally do. But somebody has to rescue the Ravens offense right now. They have got to get a play to get some kind of rhythm and momentum going on this side of the ball. They've been completely shut out here tonight.
The Packers corners just challenging. In your face, bump and run coverage, single high safety from the Packer defense.
Rice left. A.J. Hawk couldn't tackle him, and there's Rice to the 46-yard line. Gain of 17.
That's who you turn to, Ray Rice.
He is their most explosive player. No question about that. Here, nice little seam. Sees the cutback. Terrific straight arm to A.J. Hawk and takes it up the field. Finally, a big play for the Baltimore Ravens.
They're really getting out of the huddle late.
Slow. Yeah, the tempo just isn't there.
And even when they get out, it's kind of sauntering to the line. That throw is complete. It is Clayton for the first time tonight. Breaks out of a tackle and gets to the 39-yard line. And John, when we were in break, you said, hey, this is the drive of the season for the Ravens.
I think so. You know, we get ready to go to the production meeting. We heard the Steelers lost, and the Ravens were going crazy. But that's a great start right here to this drive with Clayton and Rice making back-to-back first downs, putting the Ravens in striking distance.
Might have an allergic reaction to where they are. It's only the 5th or now 6th play that they've run in Green Bay territory tonight. Flacco out quick. Held on to in front of Woodson by the veteran Mason. And a gain of 8.
That Charles Woodson, every time he makes a tackle, he's going to try to strip the ball out of your body. Take a look at him. He'll rake that ball. He'll rake that thing right across your chest. He's just looking to strip that ball. I don't think anybody does it better than Charles Woodson.
And while we talk about the Packers making that a point of emphasis, it's something that Woodson's done throughout his NFL career, especially when he played for you, John. Rice could have run it for a first down to the 28-yard line.
Well, he stripped the ball away a lot during his career. Probably the best strip he ever made. Stripping the ball away right there. Oh, they didn't call it a fumble. Look at that guy go in there and strip that ball.
This is the tuck rule game, of course, against the Patriots. You know what?
It's a tuck rule.
Yeah, I've never heard you talk to us about that player this game.
Charles Woodson. He is a dynamic player, and he's going to strip a ball. You watch. No one strips a ball better than Charles Woodson.
All right, see if the Ravens can cash this in. Flacco for Heath, who couldn't take it out of the air. It was up there forever. Heath got 2 hands on it. Well, the 9th-year veteran couldn't bring it in.
Just one of those plays. Once again, you get an opportunity to make a big play. You get the corner route to Heath. Flacco lays it out to the corner. A lot of air under this football. Heath running hard to go get it. Right on the hands. Can't hang on. Been one of those nights for the Baltimore Ravens. John Harbaugh frustrated as he watches the ball trickle to the ground.
Second and 10 play action. Flacco, another shot downfield for Clayton. He couldn't pull it in as he was being hit and bothered by Tramon Williams, and no flag. 3rd down coming.
Oh, good call here. They're going to run a double move. You're going to see Clayton run a hook and go on Tramon Williams. You be the judge at home. Watch him sit down and then take off, and watch Tramon Williams catch up and grab that inside arm. I thought that was an arm bar again. Same exact call they called in the game.
Tramon Williams has the arm locked. Clayton could not get it up, but no call.
Woodson blitzes this time. It's picked up, and Flacco completes to Kelly Washington. That's a big play at the 15. Keeps the drive alive.
The key was pass protection. You're going to get time for Flacco to throw the football. You'll see the Packers come with the heat. Charles Woodson off the corner, but picked up nicely by Todd Heap. And Flacco has time to get it downfield on a 3rd and 10 situation. Dom Capers, you never know where the pressure's coming from. That time the Ravens were aware. Flacco with a strike to Kelly Washington.
There's no substitute for a big arm. And Flacco gunned that one in there. What a throw.
4.5 left 3rd quarter. Rice motions in to run. He got tripped up with all those legs there. A gain of about 3.
You know, here's an area on the field, the red zone, where the Ravens, for whatever reason, over a 10 or 12-year period, they were 20th or worse. And then this year, early in the year, you saw the red zone offense. They were scoring touchdowns. But in their last 19 possessions, they've only scored 6 touchdowns. Here's a key situation right now. 2nd down and 7 at the 12-yard line. Let Joe Flacco cut it loose. Keep an eye on Clayton in the slot. They love to look for Mark Clayton in the slot.
And he'll be bottom of your screen in the slot. Flacco throws incomplete as Mason was coming across the field. Flacco got knocked down by Ryan Pickett. Here comes another third down.
Flacco just needed a little bit more time in the pocket. You'll see the pressure. Joe, if he gets time, but not, oh, here it comes. He doesn't have time to let this develop. He has to throw a little bit early before the route to find itself incomplete. Only a four-man rush. The Ravens O-line has to do a better job of giving Flacco time.
On the 12, they'll get another one. They were offside. Flacco can take a chance down here to the pylon. It is caught for the touchdown by Kelly Washington. We have 2 flags. I don't know if there are different fouls or not.
Offsides, number 97, defense. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchdown.
Johnny Jolly offside, second touchdown of the year for Washington.
It's a great job by Joe Flacco, knowing he had a free play. Jolly clearly jumps, and you see Joe Flacco moving to his right, keeping his eyes downfield. He had a free play, and he knew it, and that's a nice job by Kelly Washington, scrambling with Joe Flacco and working the sideline.
Challenged by the Packers. They got to look at that replay as we did. You got a couple of things here. You have the 2 feet that are very close as he slides out of bounds, and you also can have a body part, if not the 2 feet, as he's sliding down. Let's see when he gets possession.
Green Bay is challenging the ruling on the field of a touchdown.
Let's get a peek as we go to break these rules they'll have. He's got the catch there, and a knee down goes down with the ball. I think that'll hold up as a touchdown. We'll check after this timeout. Looks like it'll stay 17-6. John, you guys think that was a touchdown when you looked at the replays?
I would say it will be a touchdown.
Coach,
I agree. It's a touchdown.
Just nice to not be on my own up here. You know, the island of replay.
I already got one wrong tonight.
Yeah, I know. The island of replay.
To jump out there, you know.
After he's going to play, the ruling is confirmed. It is a touchdown. Green Bay is charged with it. First time out for the second half, and is charged with its second and final challenge of the ball game.
And that's the most important thing. Well, the touchdown's the most important, but going forward, that's very important. The Packers cannot challenge the rest of the game. So Mike McCarthy's team loses that little chip on their side as Flacco throws his 14th touchdown pass of the year.
That's a great drive by the Baltimore Ravens.
Joe really distributed the ball well on that drive.
Billy Cundiff knuckles through the extra point, 17-7. Well, it's my first time Lambeau. This is my Lambeau leap. No. By the way, you're not welcome here. Get out.
Try that again.
Try to give you that neighborhood sense of Lambeau. That is right over from somebody's house that is across the street. How about looking out at your front porch and seeing Lambeau Field every day?
Very cool.
John, you coached here.
This is quite a place. Yeah. It's all Green Bay Packer fans. There's nothing like this place. In Lambeau Field, what tradition. Spectacular place to see a football game.
This one gets a little more interesting now. A sky kick, a short kick. Big one of the big guys get it. For that reason, it is fumbled on the return and a scramble underneath. A lot of times you can get an offensive lineman, somebody not used to handling the ball with it in their hands. It was Evan Dietrich Smith who had it. And Baltimore has recovered. So Evan Dietrich Smith could not hang on, and now it may be pointed the wrong way.
Correction. My error. Green Bay recovered.
Walt Anderson pointed the wrong way. Dietrich Smith lost it. Jameel McClain came in and hit him. And then who knows what lurked at the bottom of the pile as it was booted around. You kind of see 29 for the Packers. Derek Martin getting in underneath with Desmond Bishop, 55.
First and 10 from the 37.
They dodged the ball. Yeah. Let's keep an eye on this Baltimore Raven defense now. They've got to be rejuvenated. Now it's a 10-point game. And a stop here becomes paramount.
Rodgers to the 37 goes down the middle. It is off the foot of Driver and caught out of the air by Jarrett Johnson. Yes, it's an interception. And the Ravens do get it. So on back-to-back plays on offense of the Packers, passes intended for Driver become interceptions. Goes off his leg and up. It looked clean. It doesn't matter. The Packers couldn't challenge it anyway. Very uncharacteristic. A Packer team that turned it over 10 times in 11 games has turned it over 3 times tonight on back-to-back offensive snaps. And we watched that play closely during the timeout, and it was a great call live by the officials. Off the leg of Driver, intercepted by Jarrett Johnson. What a chance for Flacco and the Ravens. Joe hit as he takes a shot downfield and deep, incomplete, and a flag on Tramon Williams, who interfered with Demetrius Williams.
Cam Cameron, offense coordinator, dialed up the big play. He was going to take his shot after the turnover, and you'll see it right here. It's the post route on Williams.
Pass interference, number 38, defense. First down at the 1-yard line.
By Williams, and you'll see right there, clearly locks the arm. They can't get up. Good call.
And happening in the end zone, it takes it to the 1, and now Baltimore brings Haloti Ngata, their outstanding defensive lineman, in the game, and he'll play fullback after that 41-yard penalty. They'll move Ngata instead to the wing on the left, which they also did against Pittsburgh. And Flacco rolls right and throws across his body, incomplete for McGahee coming out of the backfield. So let's go back 2 plays, guys, to the Driver play. Was this a poor throw or something he should catch?
Well, clearly the ball's a little bit low. It almost looks like Donald misjudged it. But I've seen Driver make that catch for years. This game is turned around with 2 miscues on balls intended for Driver. One is a fumble, one is tipped off his leg, an interception, and now the Ravens are knocking at the door.
The Ravens got so many big bodies on the field. Flacco to McGahee to the right, pounds in behind Ngata and company. 4-point game. He'll go for a leap.
Well, he was smart. He looked for some Raven fans.
What a stunning turnaround.
It's
2 touchdowns in a half minute.
Off tackle power running. You see the left guard, Ben Grubbs, lead him to daylight. And Willis McGahee is still a big punishing inside power runner. And this crowd is quiet.
The Ravens did nothing in the first half. They come back, and now they're within a field goal with 2:58 left in the third.
Billy Cundiff adds that the fans continue to boo at the pass interference call. With the turnovers by Mike McCarthy's team, this game is done a 180. Two touchdowns in 30 seconds by a Baltimore Raven offense that had checked out for the most part as we watched the first half, has suddenly irritated this Green Bay crowd and brought the Ravens back to life. You see, they had been struggling so much to score, and they, who have been so often the team on the wrong end of the pass interference flags, get one in their favor. And I'm sure Ravens fans are sitting back there saying, it's about time one went for us. And now Mike McCarthy's team's got to turn momentum.
But in the National Football League, when you throw the ball deep, the possibility of a pass interference is always there, Jaws. And both of these teams have been bitten hard by the PI foul tonight.
And that was a pass interference call in the end zone. No question. Williams on Williams. You know, Demetrius Williams had his arm grabbed as he was reaching for the football.
That's another sky kick. Why not try it again? A fair catch is called for and made at the 38-yard line by Desmond Bishop. As The Ravens tried to go to the same tactic that put the ball on the ground the last time. So Driver, who's been the intended receiver on the last couple of plays, a fumble, and then off his leg and a turnover. And this is a Packer team that's taking care of the ball so well, especially the veteran Driver. Chris Carr stripped him on that one. And this one, a tough throw to catch as he was going down off his shin and hauled in by Jarrett Johnson. And 2 touchdowns in 30 seconds off the back end of that, and we got a game. First down, Rodgers goes play action. He's loading up and fires again toward Driver, and incomplete. Lardarius Webb covers him across the field. So Driver turned it over, go to him. Driver turned it over, you go to him again.
This guy, Lardarius Webb, this rookie out of Nicholls State, has really played well. Take a look at him. He's going to track Donald Driver on this over route. Watch the closing speed right here.
Second and 10 from the 40.
He does an excellent job closing on the football. That's a nice play. And he's really stepped up and played well, and they've needed him with the injuries they've had in their secondary.
And DeJuan Landry, the other safety, opposite Ed Reed, he went to the locker room. He's run back out to the sideline, but he's not on the field right now. So they're really into the reserves in the defensive back end. Incomplete for Finley, who came back after getting his knee retaped after they took a look at it in the locker room earlier in this quarter.
It looks like the Packers now have lost their rhythm. They're struggling like the Ravens were in the first half. Just can't seem to get it going. Right now, momentum certainly in favor of the Baltimore Ravens. They're feeling it right now. They're back in this ball game. Big play for their defense, and of course, even bigger right now, probably for the Packer offense. Get a little mo going on their side. The empty formation. Aaron Rodgers loves this look. Spread him with that 5-wide look. Make the defense declare.
Ray Lewis instructing Landry on where they should go to cover the slot receiver. And they go right that way to Jennings. First down into Raven territory at the 39. The gain is 21.
Well, when you need a big play and you need a high percentage play, the Green Bay Packers love to go to the slant route. You're going to see Jennings just run a quick slant route to the inside. He crosses the face of the defender, and Aaron Rodgers places the ball perfectly, a foot in front of the receiver's numbers. That allows Jennings to run with the ball after he catches it. Big play.
First play they gained yardage since the Driver fumbled earlier. Play action, Rodgers just throw through the hands of Donald Lee and incomplete.
Ever since Mike Holmgren came in here in 1992, he made the slant route a staple of the Green Bay Packer offense. Outside foot is back, 3 big or 5 quick, whether it be Robert Brooks or Sharp. Then it was the slant and go, and they called it the sluggo. The slant and the sluggo. Since 1992, Josh, those 2 patterns are still rocking Lambeau Field. Gosh, I love watching Jennings and Driver run those routes.
Rocks a lot of stadiums. West Coast offense.
39, that pass is caught. Jennings ripped down by Ray Lewis. It looked harsh, but was legal. No, maybe not. A flag comes in from Oswabanon, somewhere way out of the play.
John, spell that.
Oh, it's a stick out. Watch this route now. It's a quick out, and Ray Lewis is going to close. I don't know what they're calling there.
Let's see. They are having a conversation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he got him good.
Personal foul. Face mask, number 52. Defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
That's a great call. The official who was all the way on the far sideline was the only one whose body was facing where the face mask turned around to, so he was able to see it.
Good job by the officiating crew.
Well, when you get in these multiple spread out formations, there's how you get Greg Jennings in there one-on-one with Ray Lewis. And Ray, obviously, you can't face mask, but that's a tough down for any middle linebacker when you're in that kind of space and you have to cover a guy like Greg Jennings.
I got to tell you guys something. 16 penalties tonight, 243 yards. If these are playoff teams, they better get their stuff straight, because this doesn't cut it in winning football. Awful. In the red zone, Grant to the 17-yard line, 80 seconds left, third quarter.
Well, the officials are getting a lot of airtime tonight, Mike.
Well, I'm sure Walt Anderson and his family are enjoying that. But you know what? They've done, in my opinion, a good job here tonight.
For the most part, they've been on top of every call.
What'd you say, John?
No question.
No question. Not all the guys who wear those nice zebra shirts to hear that. Rodgers flush, good pass rush by Barnes. Flag down as Rodgers gets rid of it, incomplete with Havner, the intended receiver.
And Antoine Barnes.
Holding number 65, offense, 10-yard penalty, still second down.
Mark Tauscher holding on to play, and as John talked about earlier, Antoine Barnes coming out of Florida International was a 4.5 sprinter.
See, as it was pulling out of frame, Clifton had his left hand full of his jersey. He got Barnes number 50 in his hands.
2nd and 18 from the 27.
Just joining us, it was 17-0 at halftime without Ed Reed out with a hip injury tonight. As Raven defense saw the Packers walk down twice in the second quarter on big drives. With a couple of turnovers to turn the momentum. Pass caught by Finley to the 22. You know, this guy, Ray Lewis is over there as well. I'm watching Lardarius Webb as well. There's a rookie who has stepped in here, started the last couple of games after Fabian Washington's gone out. And he makes a lot of plays on this defense.
Well, he sure does. And Green Bay right now has found something they like on offense. They're in an empty formation, and they are really trying to isolate Ray Lewis on some of these quick outside breaking routes. Don't be surprised if Green Bay comes back with a double move off of that route against Ray Lewis.
Talking about that stick nod, you're going to see that stick nod go down the seam. It's coming.
Into the third. It was 17-0 at the half. Couple of turnovers, couple of touchdowns, and it's a 3-point game after 3 on Monday Night Football. Mike Tirico, Ron Jaworski, John Gruden, Michelle Tafoya on the sideline. Fourth quarter here at Lambeau. Packers trying to get to 8-4. Ravens trying to get to 7-5. 3rd and 14 in field goal range. Ravens flush him out of the pocket. Rodgers, a great runner. Just hits the sideline, gets out at the 20. And we'll have a 37 or 8-yard field goal attempt coming from Mason Crosby.
Trevor Price wins quickly, gets pressure on Rodgers, force him outside the pocket. The play never had a chance to develop.
Well, you're going to see a stunt on the right side, and like you said, Jaws, it came clean. But this is a heads-up play by Aaron Rodgers. Getting a positive play and setting up a makeable field goal.
This is hard on the holder and the snapper. Matt Ryan, who holds, Brett Good, who snaps. They haven't been out here in this. Got to get it and put it down, and Crosby missed it to the right. No good from 38. And the Ravens dodge a bullet. You can read the lips of Mike McCarthy. Come on, Mason. His kicker doesn't get it. And the Raven defense holds. Momentum stays on the side of the guys in black and purple. You know, not really. Oof, not really feeling you there, guys.
No.
Sorry.
She said Santa's okay, but the bear top, nah.
The warm hats, the Nitschke jerseys, everybody. They're a little uptight here in green and gold land. Their team led 17-0. It was feeling a little bit warmer when they were leading, huh? It feels like 11. That swing out for Rice. He is stuck by Nick Barnett. Big hit. John, we're talking about that cold weather. It impacts everything, including special teams.
No question. Watch Matt Flynn, the holder right here. He doesn't get the ball down. And that's one of the things that concerned me the most about playing in cold weather was the complementary players, that third receiver, that holder. Can you throw the cape off and run out there and do your job? And clearly, that's a big play. You have got to get the ball down.
That was officially a rush, and it was officially a loss of 7. Flacco throwing incomplete. as he was pressured by Ryan Pickett.
Clayton stumbled coming out of his route. Flacco was fortunate that wasn't intercepted as Tremont Williams was in coverage, but he threw to the outside, and Mark Clayton limps off the field.
Well, they're working Tremont Williams play after play. They're staying away from Charles Woodson, and rightfully so. But take a look down here at the bottom of your screen. Tremont Williams is battling with Clayton. I don't know what happened to Mark right there. Looked like he slipped coming out of the break. But keep an eye at the top of your screen right now. Tremont Williams is the guy they're looking at every time.
Yeah, they're going to give him some help this time. You're going to either Nick Collins over the top or A.J. Hawk underneath.
Flacco comes to the other side and takes a shot downfield as Mason comes inside of Woodson and catches it at the 32, but a marker comes down. As Mason got past Woodson, he had contact. The Packer bench was screaming for offensive pass interference, and that's what they're going to get. Erasing a gain of 47.
Pass interference, number 85, offense, 10-yard penalty, still third down.
This ball is just the underthrow. Mason's going to come back to the football as Woods. Oh, you can see Derek Mason kind of whipped him by there. Right there, he pushes Charles Woodson past him, comes back and makes the catch.
Guys, it's one of those where if Woodson doesn't go down to the ground, it may not have been called a penalty.
He probably didn't need to push him. He was going to run by him because Mason saw the ball and was adjusting to it.
And on the back end of that, there's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, I believe, on Mason. I did not hear Walt Anderson, but an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty was called on the back end of that.
Oh, it's an underthrown deep ball, and Mason is trying to come back to the ball through Charles Woodson in his defense. But we are getting a pass interference clinic tonight now on both sides.
And all the game planning and all those play sheets that coaches have, I don't know how many fit in that equation in the bottom there. Third and essentially a third of the field, instead of a gain of 47.
You know what? Heave one down the field. You might get pass interference.
Oh, put it on the ground as they tried the fake pass and the run, but Rice was able to get it and get to the 9-yard line. Jaws, you've played many cold weather games. We have seen and done colder games, but with the temperature feeling like 11, I'm getting the sense that there's a very slippery ball and guys are not able to hang on like they normally do.
Yeah, and it is getting colder as night wears on, and there's humidity in the air. There's moisture on the football. The ball is hard. The ball is cold. The ball is slippery. Your first thought has to be ball security.
They put a second safety back to catch this punt. Try to maximize it, but a very good job of directional kicking by Cook. Melts and shakes past midfield and to the Baltimore 48-yard line. 2:10 gone by in the fourth. Packers back. A block away from here is the Green Bay Curling Club, where the U.S. Olympic team and some of them were outside of Lambeau showing off their skill of curling on their way to Vancouver and the Olympics coming up in a couple of months. First and 10 for the Packers at the 49-yard line. Here's a run for Grant or to the 45-yard line. So good field position here because of this pass interference penalty as Mason was coming back to the ball and got rid of Woodson. And that's one you have to call, and I think it was a good call. But Mason, part of this frustrated team feeling like they don't get any flags, was giving a lot of complaining to James Coleman, who ran out of flags, and he said, hey, throw my hat on you, and his unsportsmanlike conduct. Enough is enough. 5 pass interference penalties tonight. First time a team's had that in 8 years on the Ravens. 4 of them defensive pass interference, and then on the offensive end. Second and 7, a flushed Rodgers, chased by Bannon, complete to his fullback, Corey Hall. First down at the 33.
Mobility by Aaron Rodgers, extending the play outside the pocket. You'll see the pressure from the linebackers. That fire X up the middle. They get clean inside. Uh-oh, he's got to break the pocket. Rodgers gets outside. Once again, we say it all the time with Aaron Rodgers. Head down field. Find a receiver.
Big play.
Brandon Jackson is the tailback. Quick one to Driver. They left him open, and there he goes to the 19-yard line. 14 first down yards for Driver.
I think that's a mistake by the Baltimore Ravens. And Aaron Rodgers, he sees a lot for a young quarterback. Take a look at Donald Driver in the slot. Nobody covers down on him, and Rodgers just picks it up and flips it out there. That's heads-up football by Donald Driver and Aaron Rodgers. I'm really impressed with all the things that Aaron Rodgers sees and has the freedom to get to. Driver almost
dropped that one. It was sliding out. He's supposed to be used to these conditions.
The 19. Rodgers throws complete to the goal line. Finley, Mr. Monday Night. 3 touchdowns this year, all on Mondays.
Another part of Aaron Rodgers' game that impresses me is vision. The ability to find people downfield when you're moving. It's a great quality to have. Aaron Rodgers is exceptional at it. You'll see Rodgers here. Set up quickly in the pocket. Not there. Here comes the pressure. Look at the quick release. Look at the accurate throw. That's why I opened this show saying this guy's going to be a superstar someday.
24-14. Completion to 13 to the fullback. 14 to the receiver. 19 to the tight end. Watch his eyes, moving him around. Where's Mr. Monday Night, Jermichael Finley? All 3 of his touchdowns this year. Back here in Green Bay. And tip of the scarf to these folks. Feels like it's 11, the temperature's 20, and 70,000 strong. They have been loud right throughout. They're all still here. Lardarius Webb, who has one, returned all the way to the house earlier this year in a foot race. Webb took it and protected it well as Williams tried to strip him all the way to the 26. What an impact on the game for Lardarius Webb. 68-yard return.
This is the Achilles heel of the Green Bay Packers. Their special teams. They have really been victimized all season long by poor special teams. They've had injuries, whatever you want to say, Ron. Lardarius Webb just takes the momentum right out of this crowd.
You know, we saw Sean Slocum on the sideline. We were at practice on Saturday. We saw how hard they were working on special teams, but come Monday night, you have to execute. They're just not getting it done game day.
This is a 10-point game. The Ravens are very close to being in field goal range, needing a couple of scores to square this one. So they can't go backwards. Rice bounces it out the side door. Woodson and Matthews take him to the sideline. Ray Rice has been handcuffed all night.
That's Charles Woodson pursuing and finishing. Take a look at Woodson playing man-to-man coverage. He sees the ball handed off. Then he sees Ray Rice cut it back, and that's an outstanding play by Charles Woodson, once again looking for a strip.
And John, that's a great point there, because that's not the stuff you think of when you think of a guy being the defensive player of the year. You think of the picks, the scores, the sacks on blitzes. But a play like that is so huge.
He has 60 tackles, number 2 on the team.
They gained 3, 2nd and 7. Pressure picked up. Here's a shot to the end zone for Williams. Demetrius can't catch it, but in a shocking development, we have a pass interference flag.
That's the 9th pass interference we've had this evening.
Pass interference, number 38, defense. First down, 1-yard line.
Well, Joe Flacco just sees Tremont Williams over here, and he says, we're not messing with Woodson. We're just going to throw it up to whoever's over there.
I don't know what to say. I mean, there's some jostling taking place. Everybody's pushing and fighting a little bit. It's football.
I've never seen a game like this.
Nata is in over at the left tackle spot. Chester to the left. It's bounced outside. McGahee is stopped by Woodson again.
Well, he's the guy I said at the beginning, Ron. He's got my vote for MVP. Take a look at this play on the goal line. A lot of corners don't even play in this situation. But here he is diving out, making an impact play. Not a lot of cornerbacks even dream of that kind of play.
Spectacular. What a night he's had. What a season he's had. John, I concur. I've given my defensive player of the year vote.
Defensive MVP.
Defensive.
Oh, yeah, defensive.
Okay, I just want to make it. The sheriff just said, wait a minute. The sheriff said, hold the phone.
What about Drew Brees, the surgeon, you know?
Second and goal. Timeout. Ravens. Oh, wait. Flag first. Tonight? Probably.
There is no foul for delay of game. This Tyler charge timeout.
I mean, we've only had 20 penalties tonight. What's another flag amongst friends? Timeout. Got a lot of interested people watching, certainly in the New York area, both Jets and Giants fans, as these two teams impact them in the wild card. Interested fans with Miami, the Dolphins off their win yesterday, and of course Steeler fans. Their team is 6-6. The Jets in Miami there. They're hoping Baltimore loses and comes back to them at 6-6 tonight.
No confusion here.
Second and goal. They send Heap back out and get Mason over here on this side. Flacco rolling right, looking right. There's nothing there. Buys himself some time and throws across his body. That is awful. Intercepted by Williams. What are you doing? Go down.
Well, for Joe Flacco, that's inexcusable. He did a great job of avoiding the sack, but he tried to make a play that just wasn't there. You're in field goal range, throw it away, go to third down. Joe's just made a bad decision.
Well, the ball is designed to go here or here, Jaws, and they're going to look for number 3 coming on a backside drag route, and clearly Flacco doesn't have Heap, he doesn't have McClain, and now it becomes a scramble drill play. And wouldn't you know it, there's that guy, Tremont Williams. And what did Charles Woodson say to us the other night? He says, I'll tell you what I like about Tremont Williams. He has a short memory. He has a short memory. And he should have one tonight because he's had some terrible PIs, but he's hung in there and he might have made the play of the night.
Well, just like a quarterback, a great quality is amnesia. Move on to the next play for Tremont Williams. He certainly has amnesia. What a terrific play.
And guys, the killer there. Second down. You need a field goal here along the way in this comeback, you know, and you understand the guy trying to make a play, and you can see how Williams broke free for a second, but all the way across your body with that much air under it.
Even if Joe wants to make that throw it to the back line of the end zone where only his receiver could make a play.
Each team 10 penalties, each team 3 turnovers. Grant right. Webb comes up, hits it. Gain of 3, Sports Center right now. Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, thank you. In the NBA, Allen Iverson, after that emotional press conference, made his return to Philadelphia tonight. Had 11 points in 37 minutes, but as usual, the Sixers come up losers. They lost 93-83 to the Nuggets. Meanwhile, comings and goings at South Bend. Jimmy Clausen going to forgo his senior year, the quarterback entering the NFL draft. Cincinnati's Brian Kelly will interview for the Notre Dame head coaching job tomorrow. Heck of a game at Lambeau, guys.
Yes, it is, Trey. Appropriate we go to Trey as each team has 3 turnovers on the game tonight.
Well, you got the A game tonight.
Nah, that was Marty Aronoff, my stat man. I got to give Marty that. 2nd and 7, Grant to the 27. Well, 3rd down coming up inside of 8 minutes now. And again, Mike McCarthy's always talked about this team being able to line up and run it. And here's one of those times when you want to be able to do that and kill some clock.
Well, Green Bay loves 3rd down and 1, 2, and 3. And I don't know the exact stats like you do, Ron, but the Green Bay Packers convert more in that down and distance than any team I've ever seen. They dominate on 3rd down and 3 or less like no team I've ever seen. They own this situation. At least they have through the first 11 games.
Saw Kelly Gregg go off. Shaken up. to be a 3rd and 3 throw and no conversion as Jones was being followed by Dominique Foxworth. So good job by the Ravens defense, a 3 and out and a chance to get good field position again with 7:12 remaining.
Yeah, that really was, because this is the area, as John alluded to, where Aaron Rodgers and that Packer offense is very good, but they misconnected on that back shoulder throw.
I can't say enough about the Raven defense. They have really battled through some tough injuries. They're going for the block here.
It's a very poor net punting team, too. So if they don't get the block, they might get decent field position. Papanos has had 1 block this year. Well protected and a good kick. One of his best of the night, 52 yards. Took Carr back to the 21. It'll go down to the 26. Well covered by the Packers. Down 10, 7 minutes left. Here's the situation for Baltimore on the wild card chase. Wild cards at the moment belong to Denver and Jacksonville, 7-5, and a Raven loss, although their remaining path is the easiest. If you look at that right column, Dolphins, Jets, and Steelers would all pull even. Baltimore is playing the first tonight of 3 consecutive games against the NFC North. And they get the teams at the bottom of the division, Detroit and Chicago, the next couple of weeks in Maryland. Then have the rematch with the Steelers, and then they go to Oakland, which you say, oh, they go to Oakland. Ask the Steelers about playing Oakland. Flacco down the seam for Heath. Intercepted by A.J. Hawk. Down at the 41. And a flag on the back end. Flacco intercepted on back-to-back plays.
Well, they have really worked hard.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 77 of the intercepting team. 10-yard penalty will be first down.
They have really worked hard, the Baltimore Ravens, to get the ball to Todd Heap. And you're going to see these 2 safeties. They're going to try to get Heap on a middle read, but A.J. Hawk carries Todd Heap right down the seam. Watch him flip his head and find the ball and make a heck of a catch away from his body. That's why he's a first-round draft choice, Jaws. That's a heck of a play by A.J. Hawk.
Couldn't agree with you more. You know, the one thing, you go with the play action, you try to hold the underneath coverage. A.J. Hawk did not bite it. Flacco tried to squeeze it into a tight window. The throw wasn't there. You just saw the athleticism that made the play. It's just an outstanding job by A.J. Hawk making that interception. He played it like a wide receiver.
6:48 left. Amon Green, good carry for about 9 yards into Raven territory at the 41. You guys talk about Hawk making that pick, the 4th of his career. Remember, he was the 5th overall pick in 06. And you know, the conversation around here has been, there's been a dearth of those big plays. When you're the number 6 pick, you expect a game changer. That hasn't been there for Hawk. There's a very significant one right there.
Well, no question about it. This is a playoff play right here. I mean, you intercept a pass inside of 7 minutes. A.J. Hawk's had over 100 tackles 3 straight years. And for him to make a play in that situation, it's good for him.
And his role changes this year from a 4-3 middle backer in the 3-4 now. Here's the run up the middle with Green for the first down.
This is when you have to be able to run the football. I don't care if you run for 250 yards. This is when you have to run it.
Yeah, but look at the right guard, the center, the left guard, the fullback. This is old school Green Bay Packer football. And that's an old school Green Bay Packer back. That's Amon Green delivering right here. They need to run some clock, and no better way to do it than on the ground with a back that's been there and done that, and he's fresh.
Grant is fine. He's standing on the sideline here. Amon Green's finished off a few games at Lambeau. Gain of a couple of yards. Again, his story, 6 1,000-yard seasons in a 7-year stretch here in Green Bay. And then went to Houston to play for the Texans in 07 and 08. Mostly injury plagued. Only had 14 games played for the Texans. did Amon Green, and was out of football the start of this year. Came here week 7. Gives you a couple of very productive snaps there as he goes over to the bench.
You know, when you're here in Green Bay, you hear so much about Vince Lombardi, and I think of all those video clips we've seen of Vince Lombardi. You get a seal here and a seal here, and you get an alley here. Boy, that's Packer football. Jim Taylor around the corner.
Jennings, I beg your pardon, 23 for a first down.
There it is again. The signature route of the Green Bay Packer offense has been that way for years. Outside foot is back. It's a 3-step slant, breaking sharply at a 45-degree angle. I sound like Vince Lombardi talking about these slants. These Green Bay Packers, I'm telling you, it started with Sterling Sharp. He went to Robert Brooks, and Robert Brooks to Antonio Freeman, Freeman to Driver, and Driver to Jennings. They have drafted and developed receivers as well as any team I know of. The Green Bay Packers, they can all run the slant.
Even against that outside guys playing them inside, you know, they still get it.
Good continuation of the run to take it inside the 20 into the red zone. This is a little bit of what you talked about, John. You know, Green Bay, you don't think of Green Bay in passing unless the Favre era starts to come up. The cold weather. How do you get receivers up here and get these guys to be so productive? But the torch passing is the big point you made.
Well, it starts with Sterling Sharp. You see him right there with the short sleeve shirts. That guy, the best football player I ever coached. He wore short sleeves and no socks in 50 below zero weather. And he was a great receiver, but he started it. And Donald Driver, he's the all-time leading receiver here. And I love watching him compete.
Grant runs up near the 20. Ravens going to take a timeout as they have 2 remaining.
Take a look at Sterling Sharp at the top of the screen. 1993. Coldest game maybe in Green Bay Packer history. He's wearing short sleeves, and look at all these other offensive linemen wearing long sleeves. That's right. Whoa. Sterling Sharp, he's the godfather, in my opinion, of this Green Bay Packer passing game that Mike Holmgren brought in here in 1992.
Offensive linemen wearing long sleeves. That's like, you know, that you can't do that.
And I used to stand underneath that tunnel. It was cold. I was coaching a guy.
Right.
He had to catch 84 passes before every game, and I had to throw my cape off and throw him those balls.
Did you come out here in short sleeves?
No.
Did you get warm? Did you dress warm?
Nice boots.
Hey, I'm telling you.
Man, you look like an astronaut.
Sterling Sharp, though.
No, but forget Sterling Sharp. How about that look? That's bad.
It got cold here.
You still have those.
No, can we tell the world? You know what we did today?
Yeah.
I took him shopping for boots today. It was great.
Sure did.
That's what my career has come to now. I'm boot shopping for a Super Bowl winning coach. Third and 8.
The more you can do, Mike.
1 timeout left for the Ravens. It's going to be shy of the first down to 15. Be careful not to get a flag on that one. James Jones thrown to the ground. Forward progress was called and whistled. And conversation as Dewan Landry ends up on the other sideline. Meantime, with 2:33 left here, Packers probably going to try a field goal, and the Ravens are going to let the clock run. And Green Bay can take it down to 2:07.
No, I know that guy.
Your neighbor, wasn't he?
They're watching the play clock. The play clock reset on this, guys. It was interesting. They could have run it down to 2:07. The Ravens sideline's asking what's going on, because they thought that the play clock was going to force them to run a play for 4th down here before the 2-minute warning. They pumped up the play clock and reset it, and John Harbaugh can't believe it. Otherwise, they would have used their timeout on this side of the 2-minute warning. And then when they pumped the play clock up, it changed the whole equation of the clock math. 2-minute warning now here, and it's a 10-point game.
Stuart Scott back on Monday Night Football after the game on SportsCenter, the GMC Sierra postgame report. All the highlights and analysis from here, the frozen tundra. And practice. We talking about practice, man? For Allen Iverson, it was his first game back with the Sixers. Mike?
All right, Stu, thanks. You, Steve, and Matt Milne will stay warm, I'm sure, during the postgame. Here, John Harbaugh is getting an explanation from the officials on how the clock was administered at the back end there before the 2-minute warning, because clearly they would have used the timeouts to stop the clock on this side of the 2-minute warning to preserve time for themselves. And that's what he's trying to get an explanation of. You even saw Jim Harbaugh over there on the sideline, his coach, his brother, the coach at Stanford, complaining as well. Former Raven, of course, former Bear who played here at Lambeau.
Where's their dad? I know he's here somewhere.
He is here. Jack is here, so we'll have another field goal attempt by Crosby. Remember, he missed one earlier from 38. This is 32, and it's good. So it's a 2-touchdown game needed from Flacco to come back with 1:56 and 1 timeout remaining.
I think Green Bay right now has got to cover this kick like they've never covered all year. They lost the Tampa game by their inability to cover with a 2-score lead.
And we saw that earlier. It hurt them. Guys, tonight, 300 total yards of penalties. That is the 4th largest penalty yard total in the history of the NFL. The Bucs and Seahawks in their expansion year were equally incompetent. See the Packers playing the Boston Yankees? Wow. That game was played at Fenway. This game at Lambeau is the first time in the 53 years of football here that both teams have had over 100 yards of penalty. But the Packers have had that happen a couple of other times. One game played at Wrigley Field, and one game that we just showed you played at Fenway. So the oldest ballparks where it's still being played in America, Fenway, Wrigley, and Lambeau, also have that designation. 100 yards and penalties on both teams.
Yeah, and how about Baltimore? They've got 125 yards in penalties and 146 yards in total offense.
Webb, big kick return a moment ago, takes it from the 8. And he's brought down to 25. That's what John was talking about. Well covered, led by Brandon Schiller on that stop, and McCarthy likes it. Next Monday night, we'll see Kurt Warner and the Cardinals. Wow, did they surprise you last night? Larry Fitzgerald and company.
Wow, they were sharp.
They're 8-4. We'll see if Patrick Willis and Frank Gore, the San Francisco team, can save their season at 5-7. That is next Monday night, 8:30 Eastern. Niner fans were talking about going into that game. If they beat Seattle and Arizona lost to Favre and the Vikings, we'd have a chance to maybe tie for the division. Instead, it flips the other way.
Well, they didn't take care of business.
1:52, 1 timeout. Ravens need 2 touchdowns. But first, the flight.
Wow. Shocking.
False start, number 74, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
You know, for all the publicity that Brett Favre versus his old team got this year, it's a great story. But I just have this feeling that if Green Bay can get into the playoffs, they would love to have one more shot at the Minnesota Vikings. And Aaron Rodgers, I'm sure, would relish that. But they have got to clean up the penalties. They know that. Tramon Williams, number 38, I think, has been victimized 3 times. But they have to push the ball down the field here. They might get another one.
A run here with Rice up the middle, getting big yardage, getting 21 yards.
Race the ball carrier, tackle by Hall.
As the Ravens are in the no-huddle mode, obviously, with only 100 seconds and 1 timeout.
This Packer defense is much improved under Dom Capers. What a turnaround from a year ago. You know, the players are adapting to this scheme, all the changes that they do on the defensive side, the confusion they create.
Flacco's pass for Heap is incomplete. Minute 23 to go.
Hawk on the coverage.
You know, A.J. Hawk has come on tonight as a pass defender. A lot of people think of A.J. Hawk as a run-stopping linebacker, but he's held his own and played extremely well against Todd Heap. Pretty darn good tight end tonight.
41.
Well, that was the knock against A.J. Hawk, and he was a good downhill player against the run, but he was a liability in the passing game. You know, the interception he made on that down the whole route to Todd Heap was athletic, and that's the kind of play that'll keep him on the field for more plays in passing situations.
Flacco's missed his last 5 passes, his last 6 passes. 2 of them intercepted. Jared Bush comes up to make a play.
This has been a situation where Joe Flacco has dominated this year. His fourth quarter numbers are better than most guys. But tonight, the 2 interceptions, 6 straight incompletions. This Raven pass offense just hasn't taken off tonight. Their entire offense still well under 200 yards for the night.
Yeah, in fact, you mentioned those fourth quarter numbers for Joe. It's been almost a 68% complete in the fourth quarter and 9.5 yards per pass. But that hasn't happened this evening.
Pass caught by Kelly Washington. He took it into Packer territory. It'll wind down to about a minute for the next snap.
Well, the Ravens got to get moving. There's got to be a sense of urgency right now. The clock is at 1 minute, and they're kind of, just taking their time getting set here. Got to pick it up.
Might be better off. Incomplete there. B.J. Raji with the pressure guys. If the Ravens lose this, they'll be 6-6, tied with 4 teams, essentially in 7th in the AFC wildcard chase. They have 2 home games with the Lions and the Bears the next couple of weeks. Then the return game against the Steelers. And both teams will be desperate, maybe playing to knock each other out. And at the Raiders to close on January 3rd.
Well, Baltimore's got to throw the ball to the end zone. Hope they get a PI or a play. But these checkdowns aren't going to cut it right now. 50 seconds left. Roll it down the field.
Did you say pass interference?
Here comes a blitz up the middle by Barnett. It was picked up, and there's a throw for a gain of a yard.
Yeah, don't figure that one right there. Throwing the flat's not gonna do anything for you here. You got to take your shots, Joe.
They're going to take their final timeout here with 43 seconds left. Here's the Packers story, guys. If they can hold on here, they'll go to 8-4 going to Chicago. And if you notice the weather, like tonight, they're going to get cold games here the rest of the way. In Chicago against the Bears, they face the Steelers as well. The Seahawks back here at Lambeau to close the home schedule on December 27th, and they'll be in Arizona on January 3rd. And who knows what the Cardinals will be playing for at that point. You just don't know. So a lot to do in this final quarter of the season.
Well, what's going to make it interesting for the Packers down the stretch is to play their defense. I alluded to a moment ago, this defense is much improved. They're young, they're fast. Boy, they get after it. We all know what they have on offense there, and Rodgers and that plethora of wide receivers.
3rd and 9, Baltimore now is out of timeouts. We're going to get a false start penalty here on Jared Gaither.
False start, number 71, offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I feel like it's a pinball game. You just keep adding up the yards. What'd you say that graphic was? Now we're up to 310, Mike.
That's right. It's like the Jerry Lewis Labor Day telethon. Let's check the tote board.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
We're going up. We have hit one of the lowest points in modern football. We have tied a record of a game between the Bucs and the Seahawks in 1976.
No comment.
I mean, really. 310 penalty yards.
I hope it never happens again.
We're up to second most. I don't know. We still got 43 seconds left. 1 PI down the field. We could be number 1.
What a memory that will be to take. That and a cheesehead. We'll never forget it. And Gruden's new boots.
On shopping.
3rd and 14. Heap out of bounds at the 39.
Michael's pass complete to Heap. Out by Woodson.
I just don't understand what good that does with no timeouts in this desperate situation.
I don't either. I just...
Well, Coach, you should have all the answers.
From the 38,
throw the ball toward the end zone. Every play you have right now should be designed to throw it into the end zone. It's the only chance you have.
Thank you.
4th and 3, and the fans here at Lambeau rise and try to send their defense into the cold night, locking up this victory. And it ends with Clay Matthews, his second sack of the night. And 7 on the season for the rookie. To close business at Lambeau.
What you see is the speed from these outside linebackers. Clay Matthews, number 52, coming off the edge. You'll see Ray Rice miss on the block. All of a sudden, here comes the effort. Look at this. Clay Matthews chases Joe Flacco down.
I love to see young players play great. And I asked this guy, Clay Matthews, if he was hitting the rookie wall. You know how a lot of these rookies, they get tired, they get all withdrawn. Seasons are too long. I just get the feeling this guy's picking up speed. This guy's got a lot of juice and energy about him. Look at that hair.
A walk-on at USC, and he becomes a first-round draft choice. You know he's got a motor. You know his commitment's all about. And, hey, the genes are pretty good, too.
It happens appropriately enough, that final sack, at the stroke of midnight back in Maryland, as this game is over. And Mike McCarthy's Packers have won 4 in a row. They are 8-8, 8-4. And in that final wild card spot in the NFC. The Ravens 6-6. And for all the fans of the Jets and the Dolphins and the Steelers who stayed up late, enjoy your night's sleep, as your team is even back there at 6-6. Trailing Denver and Jacksonville for the final wild card spot in the AFC. 27-14, the Packers win. With John Gruden, Ron Jaworski, Michelle DeFoy, our great crew, braving the cold at Lambeau, Mike Tirico. Good night from Green Bay. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
We'll see you next week in San Francisco.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.